point of that? Just get something bigger.
Yeah.
Tom, why are you thinking about that? Why is that the specific thing you've spent your free time imagining Kieran giving his girlfriend? What?
I'm just trying to gauge reactions, in case, Santa comes early this year.
Well, I'm not sure it's Santa coming that you've got to worry about.
I'm back.
Me too. Return to stone. I didn't see that. That's sad. Right.
I was trying to make the dead look like the Joker, damaged on his head.
Oh. Well, you never know. Might not be the last issue. Anyway, are we all ready?
Yeah.
Right. So, last time, you assaulted. Well, you finally met Slugger, who played a nasty trick on you, where he was pretending to be asleep. There was some antics of a dust devil, which changed his plan. It was looking a bit risky for a little bit, but I think in reality, you had it under control the whole time. I think that's fair to say. Sadly, I let Slugger die by not pulling any DM bullshit, and he died. But how long that will last for, who knows? He found some quite characteristic items in Slugger's lair, including a dancing rapier, Joan's mace, which is like a sensor and can do a whole range of different clerical abilities, but not in a folding paper sort of way. What was the other one? The other one was a great sword, which I don't think anyone took. I mean, they took it.
No, I think Rodri took it, didn't she?
No.
Joan took it in the end, I think.
Yeah. I imagine Joan's just got it slung in her inventory. Like, I guess the Monitor will find use for this one day. And you returned to Fort Champion. There's always a bit of melancholy because of Toby's death, and everyone had a little say about that. But you had a quite relaxed night, even if it was partially grieving, where you got to talk to quite a few of the NPCs and just vent your anguish, as well as see little situations play out and a little bit of role playing, which was quite nice. But the night would pass and we'd come to the next day, which when you went to the meeting in the morning, you'd essentially be told by Ruvert that you have 10 days of what is effectively downtime, where you'll be training your apprentices, doing what you want, just making sure the fort is all prepared. So the session is going to start with what you're going to do in these 10 days. There's going to be what you want your character to do mechanically through the big book that I sent you before. Flavor-wise, what your characters want to do in this week. And there'll also be the side characters maybe even asking you and requesting your help for certain things. And at this point, I will point you towards PCs. And if you go down to quests, I've made 3 little folders that have put all your active quests in, and you can see what they all are.
Oh, yeah.
And I've put a little description in for each one, so you have a little bit of an idea of what's going on. So at the moment, you've sort of got the intelligent raptors, got the missing caravans, escort the Iron Throne, which you've done, the Mage Tower, you've got Chad Quest, where it's effectively a wrestling competition. You've got Uriel has just mentioned to Joan about in a few weeks there's a joust coming up, but it's quite far away at the moment, so 20th of Flame Rule, so it's about a month away. And another quest which Diligence got asked by Amelie to help bury her brothers who were killed in the scouring. At the end of this week, Ruvert's going to have another meeting, and he's going to ask you what you're planning to pursue with all these quests. But during the downtime, 1 or 2 more might pop up. So, I'll move you over to.
Awesome. Thank you for organising it.
Sure, alright. I thought you'd just forget them all if I didn't.
It's really helpful.
Just a year. So, we can see the wonderful Fort Champion in all its glory on this screen right here.
Man, it's so cool seeing it, like, now that I know the map a bit more, like, from the top-down view. Because it's, like, it's accurate, isn't it? Like, that's the...
Yeah, I made this and then I made the map, so it all sort of played out.
Cool. It's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
I sent everyone the downtime thing in Facebook if you need to have a browse of it.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I was a good boy and I already decided what I wanted to do.
Me too.
I tried, but I couldn't think of anything. Now I'm looking again.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
There's a document in the Facebook chat if you want to look through there and decide what downtime stuff you want to do.
Yeah, so you have 10 days.
10 days, eh?
Shall I give you a little bit of time to think about it?
I mean, I know exactly what I want to do, and I think Tom does, so we could play those. We could go play those out first, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, okay, let's do that then. We'll start with... Let's do 1, 2, Tom, 3, 4, Lewis. Tommy's.
Nice.
So...
That's me!
So, what would Diligence like to be doing during this week?
So, Diligence takes her duties very seriously. And as such, she wants to be a productive member of Port Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And so she would be offering... Anya will snicker at the phrasing, but she'll be offering her magical services to to the fort as a wizard. She has all her ritual spells that she can use, whether she's prepared them or not. She can identify, she can detect magic, comprehend languages, use Unseen Servant to help with various menial tasks. But she would be doing that.
So, what's it called? Broadcasting service. You did it. 5 days. So she'd be able to do 5 days of this, and then she'd have another 5 days. Would she be doing justice? Or would she
I
be
think
doing as well?
the second 5 days she would be creating a magic item.
Okay.
And in terms of what the magic item will be, I wanted to ask you what Lucille might like.
Lucille. Well, Lucille, she would like anything that helps with going to this mage's tower, and she'd be particularly interested in like not items that are attack based, but ones that could help with puzzles.
Okay. I'll have a look at the common magic item list as we're rolling through this.
Yeah. So,
yeah, what do I need to do for services?
The character must make a series of checks with a DC determined at random based on the amount of competition a character finds, besides the market and the demand. So not many.
Yeah, I was going to say. I got a monopoly, baby.
The DC for the first 2 checks is 5 plus D10. Wait, what?
So you roll D10?
Yep.
Okay. 2 D10.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Please do.
Ooh, 15.
What am I rolling? Arcana? Or just...
Yeah, Arcana. No, yeah, Arcana.
Nice.
Pass.
Okay. The DC for the last check is specially determined by subtracting the character's highest spell level from 24.
Jesus. 21 then. Yeah?
Okay.
So I roll again?
Ooh.
No, I need to roll again.
Okay.
So I need to roll 15 or higher. Got a 25% chance.
Nope.
So you got 1 success.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the earning value would probably be low.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she would get... Wait. 3 checks. Oh, sorry.
Alright.
So this 16, it's another. So she would have passed the second one.
Oh, sweet.
And roll again, and it's the DC I said before.
Okay. Come on, 15 or higher. Yeet.
Nice. 22.
Hey, holy shit.
So you passed all 3. What? I'm just trying to think. What spells does she have, and what do you imagine she's doing for certain people around the camp?
Excuse me. Lunch and dinner.
What's the name of this one, by the way? Sorry. In the guide?
Spellcasting services.
Spellcasting services. Sorry, I just wanted to look myself.
That's right. So she has comprehend languages for any scrolls or written stuff that scouts might find or anything like that. Any confusing language, like if they get any scraps of paper off of goblins or whatever, although I imagine goblins don't write stuff down that often. Excuse me. So comprehend languages or any books that they might have that aren't otherwise legible, she would help to transcribe.
I think one person who would definitely be coming to you a lot is Clodo.
Huh, fucking grand.
He wouldn't be like showing any specific information to you, but he'd be making you decode things which they seem very innocuous on their own. There seems to be locations, and then you work out sort of where they are, like from the text he has. And he seems very pleased with the work that she's done.
Excellent. Then detect magic for sifting through piles of loot, or just like doing a little patrol scry around with detect magic to make sure there's nothing there. Identify for any magical items that people are worried about. And then I think quite a big one in terms of manual labour is she has Tensor's floating disc on a daily basis, so using that to help out, and then unseen servant to help in the kitchens, things like that.
So
but again, it's services, so it would be if people wanted that.
So I think like Chad Mullins and Titus would be getting in on this a lot, help like getting you used to the disc to help move shit around as they're doing their duties. And overall, you'd be looked upon pretty favourably by everyone. So you would get, for doing the services throughout a week, you get 150 GP.
Sweet.
And I forgot to say this, but as a reward for the last quest, you would have been given 800 GP between you.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
200 gold each.
Yep. And we'll get there in a sec, but there is also 2 people who are visiting the fort this week. One of them is someone you recognise. Well, some of you might recognise. Where is she? So one of them's Natalie Durrett. Who's the courier for the Swift Drug Trading Company, who can deliver messages and take stuff back to CORMYR for you. And there is also a trader from the Seven Sons called Joachim Diphorn. So at some point, if people want to buy, and he sells minor sort of magical items, so maybe at the end of a downtime, we'll go for a little bit where people want to buy stuff off him.
What's his name?
Joachim Diphorn. Looks like this.
Amazing. Love him.
Love it.
What was the other thing she wanted to do throughout the week?
Creating a magical item. Poor Lucille.
Let me just have a look at this. No, it's mundane shit.
She wants to help with puzzles.
I'm going to try and start making more notes in the chat for people as well, so if you need to refer back to stuff at any point, if you can't remember someone's name or shit like that.
Nice.
It helps Kieran out a bit.
Where is it? Is it crafting?
If you press Control F, Kieran, and
Oh, magic item creation.
Yeah.
Got it. So yeah, the common item would take 5 days.
Yep, which is how much I have left, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
you didn't roll for complications, did you, on the last one?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
10% chances.
Yeah, roll a d100 will count the lower one, like is it 1 to 10 as
Ooh.
so you're fine.
Just looking through some other items.
Yeah.
Coin of Delving is a maybe. Hat of Wizardry is quite cool. Ideally, I want some. No. Mystery key. Oh, that's pretty great.
Oh yeah, mystery keys are pretty sweet.
Yeah. Maybe she'll make a mystery key for her. Yeah, we'll go with mystery key.
Okay.
Apparently, the
Okay.
character needs a formula for a magic item in order to create it.
We'll just say that you have it because I
Wait.
think that's better.
Formula's like a recipe, list of materials.
It's it's common, so I think she has the ability to make
Yeah,
it.
it makes
what she's
perfect
got.
sense.
And then can you roll another d100?
Yup. 60.
Yep, you're fine. So, should we go do all the flavor stuff after?
Yeah.
You've all been.
Can
Sounds
do.
good to me.
Yeah. So, pretty productive week, Diligence.
Yeah, he's very pleased.
Pierre, what does Pierre want to do this week?
So, Pierre wants to, in terms of just the downtime stuff and not the flavour stuff, he is kind of like a bit of a joint venture. He wants to spend 5 days gambling on fights that will be involved as he organises any willing men to take, or women to take part in a essentially like fight club. Which he will also be participating in himself, and he will be doing pit fighting as part of the other 5 days.
Okay.
So probably pit fighting first, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Let me just I'm just rolling the weather for the
Yeah,
next
it's
time.
fine. We'll get it up anyway.
One thing that you can do for me is, can you do a performance check?
Yeah, of course.
Because I imagine he's trying to get all these people together, and I
Mhm.
just want to see who's joining in.
The 21.
Okay, so that's quite a lot of people. Right. Yeah. Who are the people who you think he would ask first?
I think he would get Mullins on board straight away, obviously, because this is something they talked about together. And I think that he and him were kind of set up like maybe like a little booth like over here or something, this sort of this side of the fort, and just be doing a kind of like call to arms kind of thing. I'd imagine. I think he would really just be taking anyone who's looking enthusiastic and like wants to sign up. Like he wouldn't be particularly picky. So I imagine maybe Florian Navette might be the type to kind of run in there and go mad.
I've got Amelie would definitely. You asked her last time. You've got Scott.
Yeah.
She would. Florian would. Ariel doesn't particularly like you, so maybe he wouldn't. Let me just find these guys.
I don't know if Titus would.
I think with that score he would.
Katia.
Maybe. Oh, Rodri definitely would. And then scores. Okay, yeah. What did he get? He got
21.
Yeah. I think Kat would because she'd want to throw some people on the floor because she's angry. And would any, like, just out of interest, would any of the PCs join in this little scuffle just for flavour reasons?
I don't think Diligence would, I'm afraid.
Probably not, no.
No, definitely not.
So I've got Mullins, Amelie, Scores, Florian, Titus, Rodriguez. And then Pierre himself.
What is it?
Okay.
Pit fighting?
Yeah.
It's kind
To like
they're
punch each other.
They're kind of doing like wrestling, Fight Club, that sort of thing, getting anger out, that sort of thing.
Maybe Ember would though. She wouldn't win, but
I think if Ember did, Dewey would also join in. You don't want to lose your sister. Okay. Right, so let's look at this. So throughout the week, I imagine when anyone's got a little time, they'd be standing around watching these guys go at it.
So it says here I've got to make 3 checks. First an athletics, then an acrobatics, and a special constitution check. There's a bonus equal to a roll of the character's largest hit die.
Okay.
If desired, the character will replace one of these skill checks with an attack roll using one of the character's weapons. DC for each of the checks is 5 plus 2d10. Generate a separate DC for each one.
Okay, I'll set the DCs now then. So
It's a 16, 18... Oh no, sorry, 17, 16 and 20, right? Okay. I'm going to replace the athletics then with an attack from my mastercrafted rapier. That'll be the one I replace because my athletics
if it's
is shit.
if it's wrestling though,
That's fair.
I would
Yeah,
say-
if you roll it when I roll it that way, that's totally fair.
I think you could use the dancing rapier to jokingly trip people up though.
Okay, that's pretty fair. I will make that then for my first. Get 24
Yeah.
on the first.
So easily.
Okay, and then the second one, I will do acrobatics. Yeah, that
So
passes.
again, very nice.
20, this is going to be fucking hard. So I've got to do a constitution check, and then I get to add my hit die, roll of my hit die. So I'll roll the hit die first, and then I'll do a constitution check. Eee, that's bad.
Yeah. So I imagine what happens in this is Pierre, between all the fighters, yeah, surprisingly, I imagine Pierre's quite live, right? Like thin.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine he's doing pretty well for his size, but he'd just get to a point where he'd size up against Skoz.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
She just kind of runs him through, and everyone around just like, oh god, that's gotta hurt. So you got 2 successes, right? So
Yes.
I imagine you're all betting on it. People are doing well, but Pierre would win 50 GP for his efforts. And can you do the D100, please?
I would indeed. So add the 50 gold pieces first. And then jump over and do the D100. $43, so no.
Yeah.
No complications.
Yeah,
And
so I
then-
imagine in this activity, all those people specifically are getting a little bit of camaraderie as they bruise each other. Dewey would always be down for trying to take Ember, but I imagine they're equally as bad as each other.
Probably, yeah.
Man.
And
So
then-
the next week he's more like sitting back and betting on it.
Yeah, I imagine it's kind of like in and out. So like one day he would be fighting, and the next day he would be gambling, like that. So it's 5 days in total, but like just day in day out. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bet 250 gold pieces.
Cool thing is, I can decide who this all gets dealt out to if he leaves it.
But the character must
under-
make a series of checks with a DC determined at random based on the quality of the competition that the character runs into.
Okay.
Part of the risk of gambling is that one never knows who might end up sitting across the table. So I think that that is.
So I'll
yeah.
decide the people you're going against.
Yeah.
I imagine for the first one, Dewey doesn't want to get hurt anymore.
Yeah. So it says the character makes 3 checks: Wisdom for insight, then Deception, and then Intimidation. If the character has proficiency with an appropriate gaming set, the tool proficiency that can replace the relevant skill in any of the checks, but it doesn't really apply here as much. If the game can be cheated using a technique such as card counting, your game will but again, can't really do that for this. DC for the checks is 5 plus 2d10. Generate a separate DC for each one.
Okay. Are we assuming they're 3 different people?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. I'll say the first one's Dewey then.
Okay. So plus 5, 16. So I'm going to make a insight check first. Okay, not great at insight, but let's give it a go. Oh, yes! 19 for the insight.
Okay, and the next one. Who's a good person to be? Mullins himself would be like, yeah, I've done some wrestling in my time.
Okay.
What do you think, boss? That sort of thing.
Okay, I'm going to Deception for the next one. Oh, I got 30.
So I imagine at this point you just see Dewey step into the ring and Skoz is like opposite, and you're just like, well,
Yep.
this is wrapped up. And the last one you'd be betting against is Rodri herself.
Okay, so I got Intimidation.
Oh shit, she did. But I think
Fuck, bad roll. Yeah, I failed that one.
Both rolled badly.
Can't intimidate Rodri.
with her like steely eyes and a dragon near her.
Ooh, am I allowed to
Quite-
use inspiration on this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can use it.
Yeah, I'm
if you
gonna
want.
do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's see if I can. There.
Oh,
Fuck! Oh,
Yeah.
that phase me. That shows me for using my inspiration.
Imagine the dragon just like reptilian eyes watching stuff. It's just a bit off-putting.
Mhm,
You're
Yeah, definitely.
trying
yeah.
to intimidate her.
Yeah, don't like animals. So.
So can you got 2 successes? You gain the amount of money you bet plus half again more.
Nice. So.
So 125,
Yeah.
and then a 1d10. I mean a 1d100.
50, so no complication.
Okay.
Nice.
So, have Hannah and Anya? Have you thought about what you want to do?
I've got one.
Okay.
Let me scroll back up to it. It's the entertainer one, I think. Yeah, entertaining.
Okay.
So you have to pick an entertaining routine. So I kind of want to do a bit of half and half though, with fire eater and animal tricks. So do a little show with Blaze, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's in Cora, a bit like Pabu.
Just trying to find. So is it entertaining?
Yeah, entertaining.
Oh, it's spelled entertaining. Right. Okay. So the character must make a series of checks with DC chosen by the character points. Okay. I imagine people for champion aren't exactly the most refined. So we'll have like size, quality of the intended venue. So which, I guess, would she be trying to get a few people at once, or would she be trying to get the whole place? Because the entertainment value, if she's just doing a few people at a time, I'll set the DC to 10. So it's just like a small tavern venue, or a large town, which is...
Well, as this is over five days, I think it's like a gig, isn't it? It's supposed to be, but it's more like she's just gonna do it when everything feels all serious. It's like, oh, the atmosphere's a bit poopy in here, so I'm gonna try and do it now. So it'd be probably during Pierre's little fights, maybe before or after, and then maybe a couple of nights just in the tavern.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll put it at the DC
So it's up to you.
15.
Yeah.
So she's got a chance to earn some more money. Okay.
And so, because I want to do animal tricks and fiery, I was thinking I should do animal handling and what's the other? Intimidation, if you want, or the other way around.
Animal handling. Yeah. Intimidating.
Or I could do con and
I was
survival.
thinking.
It's up to you.
I was thinking definitely animal handling, but I was thinking con for the
Yeah.
whatever her con save is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, for the other one.
Okay, so we'll do. I think the first one is performance, though, so we'll do that.
Yeah. So what would she be doing with Blaze at the time?
So she's gonna be trying to. So because it's a combination of she's trying to do like fire tricks, but at the same time with Blaze, because he's all fiery. So like using his like flame from his fire, she'll like change his tail different colors and stuff like that, and like do like fiery sparks, just like the normal show she usually does, but with Blaze, pretty much.
So the first like little performance you do of Blaze, even though Blaze is quite a little lazy guy, he seems to be putting in a lot of effort. I imagine he's getting entertained by the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he's motivated by food.
And everyone around Blaze, like people already love Blaze, so they're definitely getting off on it.
Yeah. Cool. And what was the other one? It was animal handling. All right. Okay. Hey.
Yeah, and I think Blaze, like, once he's done the first show, he's actually really into showing off.
Oh yeah. Job Blaze.
Like, I imagine he probably likes being the centre of attention. He's like almost stealing the show from you, Ember.
Oh, how rude. I should be happy about that. And should also be like encouraging people to like give him lots of pets after, because I think he likes getting petted a lot.
Yeah, and like Raziza
Motivation.
and oddly Katia would especially have a soft spot for Blaze, and they'd always been trying to track you down and
watch the show.
tempt him. Raziza would definitely try and tempt him with like burnt bit of meat that she had.
Oh, yeah. What was the other one? Con save, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. 11.
Okay. So I think like after the whole week of Blaze being very energetic, they'd probably come and... Do you think, seeing as Blaze is he's a fire creature himself,
Yeah.
do you think Ember would try and put him in her mouth?
Probably not. He's too big.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a point where you're trying to do the fire eating and Blaze is just not having it, and he just like hits you and you're like and you can't quite hold it down. Everyone finds it quite endearing.
Yeah.
What do you get if you... So I'll say you don't earn the full 50 GP, but people give you 25 GP throughout the week.
Cool.
And can you roll on the complication table?
Is that just a D20?
It's a D100.
Oh, D100. Okay.
Ooh.
So that's fine.
Mhm.
Right. And then, do you have any other things you'd like to do?
I haven't thought of the other one. Has anyone else got any ideas? Maybe just do the cooking thing again, like the last time.
Yeah. Okay.
Some more burnt cooking.
Yeah. Let me go back to that. Cooking. There we go. Determine how the meals turn out. So I imagine at this point, Rasiza and Ember are they're an alright team. They've been doing it for quite a while. So, so can you make an intelligence with your cooking utensils? So it's with the proficiency of intelligence. And I'll do this for the whole week. How well the whole thing turned out.
Yeah. Tell me again what you want me to do.
So just an intelligence check of your proficiency.
Okay. Proficiency bonus or just proficiency?
Same thing.
Proficiency bonus, yeah.
That's just a D20 plus 3.
Mm.
Not plus 3. Oh, it's plus 3, yeah. Proficiency bonus.
So, 15. So yeah, I imagine everyone in the camp is taking a liking to
18, right?
Yeah, 18.
Oh, 18.
Yeah.
18.
So it's very satisfying. I imagine people are starting to especially the burnt ends meat that you're making. People definitely have a certain penchant for that.
Yes. Should be very happy about that. Should be making too much of it, I think, at this point then.
Yeah, but people like Chad Mullins, Amelie, they don't mind having more meat. They're very happy about it. And you'd earn 50 GP for it.
Nice.
And it says this downtime rarely has complications. Or the word
Really?
complications. I'll quickly look at them to see if they're worth rolling on.
Okay.
No, not really. So, because you didn't do badly, that doing badly would have been a complication itself, I feel. You'd have the whole camp being like, why the fuck is she the chef?
Yeah. And then she'd continue doing it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, after that, what does Joan want to do during this week, Anya?
Joan would like to do two things,
Okay.
both of them very similar. The first of them performing sacred rites, and the second religious service.
Ooh, she's really going hard down.
Yeah, her brush with Uriel and Slugger has kind of.
I can imagine.
Stuff to think about.
I'll just remind you, Anya, that on Joan's little thing, I've been keeping track of her piety,
Oh yeah.
and it's gone up to 15 now, and you can
Ooh.
see each little thing that's increased it if you have a look.
Excellent.
So recently she got delivered the Iron Throne shipment to Fort Obligation. She got one for that, and she also recovered the weapons from Slugger. She got another one for that. But maybe she can earn more people today if these go well. So the first one was sacred rites, right?
Well, I'm not sure how much of it would be in the presence of other people. I think she'd be doing it kind of on her own.
Okay.
Oh.
I think she's feeling that she's strayed from a Monitor's guidance, and she got to the room with Uriel and was like, Jesus shit, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
that makes sense. Highest character. 5 days before a sacred rites. Gains. So, for doing it, for sacred rites, she gains inspiration
Woohoo!
at the start of each day. And can you roll a d6?
Yeah.
So for the next 6 days, she gets inspiration at the start of the day.
Excellent.
I'll write that down so I don't forget. Gain
Very nice.
inspiration. Annie's like the inspiration person. She's always getting it.
Yeah. Where's your microphone?
Oh, sorry, it's because I'm laying on my side.
That's a way of falling asleep.
Yep.
It's not. There's no falling asleep to be done today.
I'll hold you to that.
Sure.
And I won't make you roll complications for that one because I think it's straightforward enough. But there's religious service. So
Yep.
I imagine you've set up a little area for yourself somewhere within the fort.
Well, I was thinking, would the fort have a chapel?
It wouldn't have a chapel. I think the places where you could do it, where you might be secluded, are this little room here, which is like a storage shed that not many people go in, or your room.
Yeah, she'd probably do it in her room then. You'd literally just see her come out and get some food and go back into her room. She'd spend the whole time in service to a Mornator.
Okay. I got at the end. Can't say. At this time, I imagine people would be like, "Oh man, Joan must be so pious. Like she's always in her room. Don't know what she's doing in there. Must be something good." Can you make either a religion check or a persuasion check?
21.
Ooh, so it says here you earn 2 favors.
Ooh.
2 favors. A favor in broad terms is a promise of future assistance. I'm not going to say from the temple, but I'm going to say that in a way, a Mornator is going to give you signs
Ooh.
that he might point you in a certain direction, and that will be me directly giving Joan a clue.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So it feels like she's being guided by a Mornator. So whenever there's a point where you're struggling, like the group, I'm going to say something to Joan, and then Joan can be like, maybe they mean this.
Ooh.
And then instead of the
Mornator has spoken
complications
to
for
me.
that, like right now, I'm going to make the complication. I'm going to roll a D100 when I tell you them, and if it's in the 10%, the clue might be a bit off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flag.
So I think that is all the downtime stuff. I'll say there are a few things that would have happened in the week that I can tell you about. So Ember,
Yeah.
during the week, Dewey would have come to you, and you'd have seen like Clodo, maybe like 10 feet away, looking at him while he's talking to you.
Yep.
And he's like, Ember.
You're still bringing him along.
Ember, he keeps talking about this cave. We have to go. It's driving me crazy.
Do you think he's going to stop talking about it when we go?
Well, I think if he doesn't stop talking about it to me, it'll be someone else. And that someone else could be you, Ember. Do you
It's okay. I just won't listen.
It's like, please, Ember, you've got to help. He keeps talking about this jelly cave, and could you try and go at some point with him? He's like, I love you a lot, sister, but I don't know how much longer I can stay here with him following me the whole time.
She just like smiles and puts her hand on Dewey's shoulder. She's like, "Yes, brother, I love you. I'll try my best. You know, but it's not just my decision."
I know. I'll bring it up, or you can bring it up, or something. But it's just getting a lot, you know.
You could trust me to save your sanity, brother.
Even the things he's talking about, Ember, he's talking about these jellies. Apparently there's alkaline jellies, apple jellies, arcane oozes, dream oozes, fire jellies, grease oozes. How am I meant to keep track of all of this?
Well, I lost track at fire jellies, and it sounds amazing.
He looks at you and he's like, there is one good thing, though. I know we're not that into coin, but it might help convince the others.
Oh, what's that?
He's offered 1,000 gold pieces for someone to take him there.
Well, they probably would enjoy that, yeah.
I mean,
they can seem to buy lots of weapons with that.
yeah, I mean, if you can bring it up at the meeting in a few days, that would be great.
I will. But have you tried that thing that you did to me that one time, where you just put your gross dirty rag in a place where he's meant to sit? He sits on it, and it puts him off for like 2 weeks.
You know, Ember, I think if I did that, he might think it was a jelly, and he might start studying it, or it might make some sort of jelly, and then he would start studying it.
Hey, it'd be a good distraction.
I'll try.
I think you should try it. I want to see the reaction. I want to see him distracted.
The amount of times I've been stuck out in the rain talking to him, and he looks back and Clode's does the double thumbs up at him, and he does a thumbs up back.
Well, I thought you liked the rain.
I do. I just don't like jellies.
Okay, well, I'll try. But for now, looks like you got someone to talk to. And she gives him a thumbs up behind Dewey as well.
He's like, and I'll show you this. Yes. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So that's one of the quests that came up. Right. So, what's a good place to go now? Okay. Would anyone want to go and see the trader who has been in Fort Champion during this time?
Hells yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll
Yeah.
take you to this place over here. I'll take you over to him in actuality. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. So, he is over here. Okay.
Change my HP.
Dump Joan out there as well. Right. So you'd see this map. I think Ember and Joan would recognise these guards and their outfits from the Knowles End Tavern that you went to in the second or third session.
No. Oh, it's these humans again.
They're not the same guys, but they look similar.
Oh, these guys that look similar. These humans again.
Similar to who?
Some humans we saw in the tavern once. Blaze, you weren't there, and you see Blaze sort of tiptoeing over there.
You can see Joachim's looking there. He's like, yeah, hello. My name is Joachim Diphorn. I am here to supply the army with the finest goods.
Well, I've heard you've got many good things on sale, so let's see how Inventory, shall we, good sir?
Looks at Diligence, and he's like, "I see you are a wizard, little girl. Most impressive."
Well, thank you for the compliment. I don't suppose you have fine stock of wizarding supplies?
Oh yes, we have more than fine stock. I will show you now. And he goes back into the tent. He's like, "Boys, keep an eye on them."
You see Blaze is like standing at the corner of the tent, looking
You
in.
see Yokem look at him. He's like, "Oh, so very nice panda you have." And he kind of looks out. "How much for him?"
More than you can afford, I think. He's very expensive.
Oh, I have 5,000 GP on me. Is that okay?
GP means nothing to me.
Oh, in Zambia, you would be a treasure. Right. So he would start pulling out items from his stock, looks around, and he looks at Pierre, and he's like, "A clock of billowing. Is that fancy man like you, yeah?"
I'm afraid such a fantastic item is something I've already had plenty of experience with, and trust me, I think the cloak usually goes off when you least expect it to.
Oh, yes. And, he has a look at Diligence. What do you think of birds?
I'm a fan.
You're a fan, are you? Pulls out a staff. They call this staff for bird calls. Have you heard of it?
Is it, what level of magic item is it, Kieran?
Pretty sure it's common.
It is probably common. Oh yes, I have it written. It is common. Yes.
Then yeah, I think she would. I have. Do you have anything a bit more prestigious?
Prestigious. Oh. Rubs his hands together like.
I think Clodo should study this guy for jelly.
Yeah.
I have. He pulls out a rod, and a movable rod.
Ah.
He looks around like.
Diligence's eyes would light up at that. That is interesting. And your price?
Hang on, do no rods normally not move?
It is you can switch it and it will be very strong to not be moved. Ember, you can hold it in the air and switch it on and it will stay there.
He moves towards Diligence.
Oh.
Like, I see I have a little apprentice.
Personally, I'm more fond of a movable rod.
Well, it is 450 GP. I also have, looks back, a robe of useful items. I have 2 sets of sending stones. And, he sort of checks the back, looks down at, Blaze. He's like, "Oh, for you little fella, you can see this." He holds it out, and like, it's a robe. It's got lots of eyes on it. Does anyone know what this is?
A robe of spiders?
It is a... Oh, go on.
Can Diligence do an Arcana?
Of course, yeah. Let me just see if that does it. Where is it? Yeah, it's a robe of eyes, Diligence.
The robe of eyes,
Exactly.
worn often by paranoid practitioners.
That's why I don't wear it. He's like, "Come, look closer," and he shows you his whole stock. And If you'd ask him a price, he'd tell you. I'm just going to quickly go to the toilet.
Do with potions of healing.
Definitely. Bit of charlatan's die as well.
Wow. Diligence doesn't have enough money to buy fancy stuff. Plus she needs to spend 10 GP on incense and stuff.
Can always ask him, but
I think Diligence would be too embarrassed to do that at the moment.
fair enough, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Diligence definitely seems super interested in the immovable rod. Because I think you can do some pretty fucking cool stuff with that item.
I think we probably need the healing potions as well, though, is the only
Mm-hmm.
I bought one.
thing.
Forgot to say, if you're looking to offload any magical items, this guy would be happy to offer you something.
Okay. Why the feck have I got a mastercrafted halberd? Where did I get that from?
It might have been one of the weapons Slugger had on his bench.
No, it was one of the ones that the guy rewarded us to when we went to Fort Obligation. The guy from the Iron Throne was like, here, each of you take a mastercrafted weapon or whatever.
Ah, right, and I was
just-
going to sell it. Yeah.
He would only take magical items. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I was just wondering why I have it.
Go on, Pierre.
I'm gonna buy a potion of healing and the charlatan's die.
Okay. And he's like, a crafty man.
Yes, I'm sure you're familiar with it. I imagine you've had a few rolls of these die yourself.
I have, my dear boy. Yep. So I'll cross that off.
Diligence would ask him. Well, actually, I need to ask you first, Kieran.
Yeah.
Was there stock at the fort for incense and such enough for Diligence to be able to resummon?
Yeah, at least
Chatterpie?
he would have bought some. Appendorf would have sent some with.
Okay.
He sort of expected it. You know, training and her and all this stuff.
Yeah. In that case, Diligence. Fuck. See, I wasn't that interested in the stuff of bird calls, but then I read the description and it's carved with birds on it. So, you know, pretty great.
It is pretty cool, to be honest. I wish I had that with Ilkas, so every time they go into a different room, he can do a duck quack.
Yeah, Diligence will look kind of crestfallen, but like step away from the immovable rod. And she will purchase the Staff of Bird Calls.
Is that a very nice selection, my dear?
Well, you are right. You recommended it.
Oh, thank you.
I think Ember would notice Diligence's disappointment, and she'd go up to her. She'd say, "Do you really think the movable rod is really that good?"
Well, in my studies, I've found that it's not often you can. I have found that often people like to exert a strong force. They like to smash things or blow them up or what have you. But I think if you are careful and clever, something that can resist a strong force is just as useful. I think of this as being like as if we had a huge hand to smash things or blow things up.
Well, that could be really useful. She like pulls out all of that gold that she has. She's like, well,
Oh,
you can use this if you want to get it.
oh,
There's
Ember.
not much I want.
How about This is very generous, but it wouldn't sit right with me unless it is shared between us. And she'd like hold out her hand to shake.
Why are you holding your hand out?
Oh, I apologize. Usually, a bond can be sealed by the shaking of hands, and she like does it with her own other hand, like shaking up and down, like this.
Oh, yeah. She'll then take your hand then.
She shakes it,
Oh,
and
you
she
see, she's
take.
got a very loose grip at the moment. What?
So diligence. If I take out the stuff, so it's how much is it? 450. So diligence will insist to pay the lion's share, and pay 280.
Okay.
So then Ember would pay 170.
Okay. Well, I will remove 170.
And she would present the gold, and kind of whispering another "Thank you, Ember," and she'd present the gold to Joachim.
He looks over and he's like, oh, very nice, very nice. Congeniality, oh yeah.
She says, that's all right, Diligence, but I don't think Blaze is that interested in anything either. You see Blaze walking over, he looks kind of disappointed as well. He's like, eh. He comes up on her.
Does Diligence have the rod now? Does Joachim hand it over?
Yeah, he'd hand it over. Who gave the money over?
Diligence
Then
did.
he'd hand it to Diligence, yeah.
So Diligence would immediately show off its ability. So she would just do a little, not very impressive because she's not very strong, but a little jump upwards, holding the rod above her head, and click it on so that she's now swinging and hanging from it off the ground.
Oh, it's a floating rod.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Joachim would
cool.
look at you. My dear, you make an excellent apprentice. You're so good at showing off the goods.
Oh.
She would look slightly embarrassed and click it again and come back down and like hold out to Ember. All you do is click here. I'm sure yourself and Blaze can come up with something interesting to do with this.
Maybe. She like steps behind you, Diligence, and she holds it up in the air, clicks it on, grabs hold of it, pulls herself up, leaps up and stands on it. So she's like basically surfing on this staff right now. It's like, hang on, let me try something. She like leans down and grabs it in her hand.
You hear Dewey, he's like, Ember, what are you doing up there? And he looks down.
I'm trying something, Dewey, hang on.
Diligence uses minor conjuration to conjure a cushion in her hand.
She like grabs hold. She's leaning down and grabs hold of it and jumps off of it as she pulls it higher in the air and clicks it, so she's even higher in the air.
Yeah, it would work.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine after you got down the Viscount would come up to you, Ember, and he's like, that's what we call falling with style. And as you're finished, have you done all the business you want to do with Joachim yet?
I think Ember would also buy the other 2 potions of healing if no one else is.
I bought one. So.
Joan? Does Joan want any magical items? Or is Joan still in her room?
Also, Joan,
Being
you can
pious.
sell magical items you don't want.
She did say BRB about 15 minutes ago, but I don't know if she's back or not.
I'll tell you what happens then. As you're doing business, you see Raziz is like, get him away! Get him away! And she runs straight up to Joachim. She's like, do you have it? And he's like, oh my god, of course. And he hands over the Hewitt's handy spice pouch. He's like, ah. She's like, I don't know what I'd do without this. He's like, it's hard to come by here in the waste, but Yockham's got you. Yockham's got you all. And he looks around, and Eurystheus like, thank you! And she like runs over to Ember, and she's like, Ember, we can make so much good food of this now!
Oh, what is it?
It's a spice pouch. It can get many spices all at once, and even the hot ones that you like.
Oh, really burnt spices.
Sounds
Sounds delicious.
She sort of looks at you, Ember. Her face like becomes slightly more serious. She's
Hmm.
like, I never thought burnt food would be as good as you make it, Ember. It's really surprising.
I know, everyone's always surprised, but it's not something surprising, it's awesome.
I just thought it destroyed a flavour, not accentuate it. It's
Well, I'm
Anyway.
glad you like it, it's delicious.
well. I was going to say you're delicious, but that's weird. I mean, she like runs off.
That is a bit weird. Emma would also jump down from the rod. So it's still up in the air though. Probably can't reach it. It's like, how do we get it down?
I should have expected that. Diligence would kind of chuckle and then conjure a mage hand cantrip to press the button on the side of it, and then it would fall back out of the air, and she'd try to catch it. Huh!
Do a dex save.
Yeah.
Yeah, you catch it.
I knew you would take to it quickly, Ember.
Oh, it's really cool. Well, maybe we can share.
Of course. I'll
You
Well,
keep hold of it though.
yeah. If you ever want to play with it, please don't hesitate to say.
You see, it's just thinking of many ways to play with it. Yeah, so she will also buy the other 2 potions here, and if Joan doesn't want any,
I think
So
assume
that
as much for
hunting
now.
thing.
Jane's got the magic heals. But then that
Yeah,
probably means
true.
she needs it to make. No, wait, that means other people would because they need to get her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, wives. So, Dumb Trader, is there any messages anyone would want to send through the Swift Dove Trading Company?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, would like to send a letter to Toby's family informing them of his fate.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah. So I think it's quite a way. It's wartime. I think it cost a gold piece to send.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take off a gold piece.
No request of items people want to get through the Swift Dove Trading Company.
Haven't really thought about it.
Can
Yeah,
Diligence send a letter to her parents?
Of course. Yeah, I'll write this both down. So Toby's parents. Diligence parents, yeah. It's they're going sort of the same way. So yeah, like 1 gold piece each.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd want to tell me after the session what they say, or the general gist of it, so I can reply to them.
Yep. No worries. Requests. Request.
Anything you can imagine that they could get an Arabelle. It's like a town, it's town-sized.
We're not really going to have any magic items, then, are there?
I mean, not rare ones at least.
Let's have a look at adventuring gear.
There would be a markup of like 10%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where is adventuring gear? There it is.
There's still some items on you if you wanted to buy anything there on the screen at the moment. The immovable rod isn't there anymore, nor are the 2 remaining potions of healing, unless you really want to buy them. Otherwise, Ember is happily buying them.
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Diligence would ask if he can seek out an enduring spellbook.
Okay.
It is a common
Enduring.
magic item. I was considering it for Lucille, but the mystery key just seemed way cooler.
Okay. I'll write that down.
Well, Ember wouldn't really know of any magical items,
That's fair.
so no.
Just looking. I don't think so, no.
Okay. Okay. So now, if everyone's done with that, we'd get to the sort of part where how do you think your characters would interact with each other, and how do you think they'd interact with other people throughout the week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ember's feeling a bit stronger these days. She's going to be practicing with her fireball.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
Oh, God.
I imagine she'd be would she take Dewey with her?
Probably.
And I imagine these. Can you see these big trees?
No, they're
I'll
outside
move-
the walls.
I'll move you outside. So imagine Dewey would be like standing next to you, like ooh, and he'd be like, "Are you using the trees for target practice, Ember?"
Maybe a little bit. Watch this, dude. And she like chucks out a fireball right there.
Dewey's like, "Holy shit!" It flies out of her hands.
I think Pierre
Right,
would
I think it's quite close.
I think Pierre would want to come watch this.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so would Diligence, to be honest.
Miss wins.
I
That
know.
is more like it.
I've never seen that much fire. Seems like being in the army is working, dude. Getting stronger.
Dewey'd be like, "Well, watch this, Ember," and he'd do a Cinelax snowball storm right where he did for
Ooh.
Fireball. He's like, "I think you're right. We are learning."
Whoa, that is a lot of ice. But this, this. And she does it fireball slightly closer.
He's like, you just see his hair like back on his head, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Pierre is gonna, as the fire, he says, "But wait, Miss Wins.
Yeah.
What is that coming out of the flames themselves?" And he's gonna cast Major Image and make like a giant, not a phoenix, but like a giant fire chicken that's gonna like running like.
Amazing. Whoa, you could do images as well. As he does that, she'll do little tiny chickens next to it.
Dewey's like, "Is that the phoenix you saw, Ember?"
Well, no, but that is a giant chicken. It's pretty awesome.
I will say it seems completely real, including sounds and smells, etc.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, it's a proper spell, is it?
Yeah, it's Major Image.
Hey, yeah, should be convinced then. Whoa, did you just make something like Blaze?
Oh, it came out the fire itself. Did you not see it?
No.
You must have summoned it yourself, Miss Wins.
She looks at Blaze, and then at the chicken, and then at Blaze again. Well, seems like you're replaced, Blaze.
And then he'll like make the chicken lay like a fiery egg and then just fly off. and then crash into the tree and just like fizzle out.
She looks down at Blaze, who looks a bit annoyed. He's like, "Oh, maybe not." Picks him back up.
Dewey'd be like, "Some people had to learn how to do magic from books, Ember."
Well,
And
I guess
Diligence
you're all behind.
smiles at him. It is seriously impressive, Ember.
well, thank you, but you can only get stronger though. I only want to get more fire.
The really annoying thing, Ember, was I had to learn Matsukin to learn how to do this, and like, he just looks like kind of annoyed.
Yeah, I suppose you did. No, I guess you're evil now, Dewey. I guess I can't hang out with you anymore.
Which damn, well, Jaguars.
You can't do it again, can you, Ember? I want to try something of my own.
I could do it again. And she does it Actually, no, I don't know how many times I can do it, actually.
You have 2 spell slots, right?
2 spell slots, yeah. 2 spell slots. Yeah, fuck it, roleplay. We'll do it again.
A giant dragon comes down from the sky.
Diligence would cast counterspell to fizzle the fireball.
Oh, well. Guess I ran out of fire.
No, that was me. I'm worried if we travel to the mage tower that we might encounter other magic users. So I have taken the time to research and learn. And she gives Dewey a little nod as she says research and learn. Their counter spell. With fortune, I can halt the magic use of an enemy.
Well, can you do that a lot?
Not that often. It takes a lot of focus and a lot of my reserve.
Okay. Just try not to dispel my fire, though, yeah?
I should be in control of it. I wouldn't want to stand in your way. And she kind of looks towards the devastation that the fireballs have caused out in the plain around them.
Yeah, kind of looks over to Liana and it's just like, if only I'd used that when we broke into the Enchanters Guild back in Arabelle.
If I'd had the ability back then, we would have been in a much stronger, how would we say it, negotiating position.
Yes, I know. I just want to remind you that, I keep saying Bobby, so I'm going to think of someone else. Hold on.
Bobby.
Fuck's sake. Sorry, Kira made me laugh. Just that time, Walter ended up staying in the infirmary.
Well, that was somewhat our fault. I felt guilty on that one.
Well, live and learn, and he got a nice scar thread.
He did volunteer himself to break the window.
Well,
I just don't think he realized I'd be sending him through it with magic.
Yes, I'm sure he didn't realize he was going to break it with his face, but, a face as pretty as Walter's.
Sounds like we should have broke it with fire instead.
Walter was used to running head first into things, so, me and Liana just suggested we speed up the process. It's his own fault, really.
Well, fire is pretty quick. Should have done it with fire. Watch this. And she does a little scorching ray over here onto the tree again.
If that tree could feel any pain, then I'm sure it would be screaming out in agony right now, Miss Wins.
Oh yeah, actually, we should probably be careful it doesn't fall on us. Or the wall.
Yes, the
or
wall.
Blaze.
Well, let's go back inside before we get any more unwanted visitors. And I can imagine Pierre looks up and there's lots of people like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you'd have the Viscount would be looking from the top, and he'd be like, "The folly of you." And some point during the week, Ember, I imagine maybe when you're cooking, your apprentice Skoz would come up to you. She'd be like, "Ember,
yeah.
can you remember I said about Mother Rock?"
Vaguely.
I see you have this penchant with fire.
Well, it is the best element.
Well, I would disagree. I would say earth and rock was the best, but let's not go. I know you're searching for this firebird.
Oh, you were searching for the Mother Rock. Well, rock. There was a big rock, if I remember correctly.
That is right. And I feel her power evermore now we've entered the Stonelands. I can feel her calling to me.
Do you know what direction she's calling you from?
It is somewhere in the west. I don't know
Hmm.
where. I don't know how far. I know your little group has done very well on missions. I thought I would mention it. You're capable.
Yeah, well, if we were going to go on to search for this rock, would you come with?
If I were to come with you, Ember, I would not return. If I found Mother Rock, I would stay. And
Well, isn't that what you want?
it is. It is indeed.
Well, then that's fine then.
She just nods. I'm glad you understand. Not like the other army types.
Nah, we all have our own goals, don't we?
Exactly. I feel she is close, and it's been a goal of mine for the past 3 years. I can feel it throughout the land, but here, it's more stronger than ever. I'm sure you know how I feel with your Firebird.
Oh, I do. It's definitely the one thing I want most. So I'm sure it is for you as well. Yeah, I don't know when we'll be able to do it though, because I think everyone else wants to go do this other mission. I think Dewey wants to do the jelly mission.
She just looks at you and she's like, jelly.
Yeah,
What?
jelly. Well, if you want to know, then you can go speak to what's his jelly man face.
Hell no, Ember. I get stuck at the bar enough with him. I've heard enough. I usually just try and close my ears until he goes away, but
Have you tried putting your hands over your ears? It makes it really noticeable.
I more act like he doesn't exist.
Well, that works too.
It does. Thought I'd mention it, but
Well, I'll mention it to everyone, but I think it's probably not going to be the first one we do.
that's fine. The thing is, well, I wish I could help you find your Firebird. At least I know the location of my destination. I'll keep my ear to the ground for you.
Thank you. I wish I knew the location of mine too. Although, Dewey did have lead. I can't remember where it was exactly though.
Yeah, that was a feather, wasn't it? It was more to the east.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah,
well,
but yeah, I think it was in the other way to yours.
Mother Rock doesn't move. I can wait.
Too nice.
And she'd also mention she has a reward if you help find her. I'll show everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure with horses it won't take very long. Well, it depends, unless she's really, really far away.
She's somewhere in this land, but I'm not riding a horse.
No?
I will walk with my own 2 legs. And she looks resolute. She looks up into the air.
But you're really short, and you'll be really slow.
I am quick for a dwarf, I'll have you know, Ember.
Okay. Well, you can prove it to me. I'll race you right now.
Okay. Can you roll an athletic check, Ember?
Yeah. Acrobat?
No, not acrobatic. Throws a big chasm might be acrobatics, but no. Where is she?
Feline agility.
Oh yeah, I mean you can have advantage if you feline agility.
Oh, fuck.
Got
Have
advantage.
Oh.
I mean, you easily outrun her, but there are points where she is keeping pace. She is fast for a dwarf, but you easily beat her around the fort.
Well, I beat you, but you were pretty fast for a dwarf. Those short legs,
They're not made for running. I can tell you that.
Made for more fast-paced walking.
Solemn walking. Fast, a brisk pace.
a very brisk pace. Never know. If you use little like fire things, they might make you go faster.
Hmm. Or I could just pound you with rocks. That would slow you down.
Not if I dodge them,
Good point.
or just melt them with fire.
If your fire can get that hot, it's quite impressive. At least 4,000 degrees to melt a simple rock.
Well, I
Not
don't know
if
what
that
that means, but
scale has
sounds
been
like a lot.
invented. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else anyone would want to do? Anyone else within this week?
I do, but other people can go first if they want.
No, I think Ember's just going to be practicing her little entertainment thing with Blaze.
I think Diligence will be working Lucille quite hard. Lots of drills and studying throughout the day. Long hours.
She would be keen, but she would moan a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And she...
Diligence would have resummoned Chatterpie quite early on, and any time that she gets annoyed with Lucille's moaning, Chatterpie would squawk at her.
Yeah, she would also make some comments like, you explain it really well, Diligence, but Master Appendorf, he just has a way about him. It seems so much clearer from him.
Well, it's a shame that he isn't here, and you'll just have to put up with me.
I know, you got Master Appendorf a whole of your training, whereas I am stuck here. With you.
Well, you can either complain and make no progress, or you can suffer through such a wearisome time and bring yourself to a place where you won't need my tutelage anymore, Lucille.
Yes, you're right, Diligence.
Yeah, Diligence is very much in her element, like pacing back and forth in the room. Giving sermons on the importance of proper
I
rune
imagine
transcription and such.
they're using this room down here. Hang on, I'll just stroke you there. This shed where occasionally a child would come in to take a box and go back out.
As soon as the child comes in, Chatterpie just stares at the child until he leaves again. Diligence would have done her best to make it like a little classroom.
Yeah.
Pin some notes on the walls
and
and
the toilets
everything.
are right next door. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
convenient, isn't it? Look.
Do people have to come through this room to go to the toilet?
Yes.
Amazing.
Diligence would sigh as that happens fairly often, I imagine.
Yeah, I imagine it happens quite a lot.
And she would hourly summon another using minor conjuration. God, I don't know what a D&D version of an air freshener would be.
Like a scented
Probably,
candle.
Yeah, like a
flowers.
scented candle and light it, or potent flowers. And she would have it right next to the door to try and save them from the worst of it.
Ember would also come and get the immovable rod to play with from Diligence if she's not using it.
Diligent.
No, absolutely, yeah. Diligence would encourage her to play with it.
Yeah. So she's going to use it. She's going to put it and click it in the air, and she's going to have Blaze do the tightrope walk on it. Which she's probably pretty good at, being a red panda.
Yeah, I imagine anyone who saw it would be. It'd be Chad Mullins. He's like, man, that dog's got great. What is it? Balance. Is that the word, Pierre?
Yes, yeah, dog, definitely.
I think this would be one of the only things that, and Lucille would notice, that properly distracts Diligence. She'd be looking out of the window, watching Ember just having this carefree play with Blaze. And she'd just smile a little smile watching them play.
And you'd see like the children, two children which Jane recruited and took away from her home, would also be watching that, and they're like, yeah, especially this little kid. Whereas the other one's a bit moodier and older. Right. Anything else?
Yeah. At some point during probably the beginning of the second week, I think, after kind of like a long day of probably fighting, Pierre would want to go. I imagine he would have noticed Joan's been very sort of secluded to herself. So I imagine at some point at the end of the day, he'd probably go like knock on her door to her room.
Oui.
We just see if I can find out now.
Oh, yeah.
I never decided where Diligence was going to sleep, but I assume it's not Toby's room. I assume it's upstairs.
Yeah. Wherever you think's appropriate. She definitely wouldn't want to be taking Toby's room.
Poor Toby. These maps are fucking... There's a reason I made these maps so big. One day you will understand. So... Oh no, that's not the right one. Oh. Oh, here it. No, that's the meeting room. That one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Pierre would sort of open the door then and put like a sort of hand round and like sort of covering his eyes, and he says, "Are you decent, Mr. Farth?"
Yes, you may uncover your eyes.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I just thought I'd, end of the day and all, and you can see Pierre's looking like a bit bruised up, and he just says, I thought, I haven't seen you in a much of the week. You've been going for the...
What happened to your face?
This one who can blame Mullins for. He maybe have a brain as thick as a donkey's arse, but his certainly fist feels like a hoof of a donkey. I don't know where I was going in with that, but yes, he's got a strong punch.
Jonah would sort of like crack a smile at that. I see. Glad to see you have been using your time wisely.
Yes, well, that's what Toby would have wanted. He wanted to compete, so I step in his place for him.
I see. Yes, well, I have been slacking in my devotion to a monitor, so I have been spending some time at my devotions.
Oh, please, show. And he comes and sort of sits on the edge of her bed, unless she objects. And
she'd be like, "What?" But she wouldn't say anything.
And he would just say, "Oh, please, show me."
I don't. Is there a specific Amornator prayer, like the Lord's Prayer?
I mean, if there is, I don't know about it, but you can make it up if you want.
I'm not very good at making things up.
Something about light, like, oh Lord, oh Amornator in heaven. Please.
I feel like it would be in Elvish anyway.
I imagine Joan would definitely do it in Elvish.
Yeah.
She could draw his symbol or do something with her holy symbol.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do it in the only other language I know how to say anything in. I'm just gonna go for it, okay?
Oh yeah.
Do it.
So she, as Tom suggests, she'd be like on the floor drawing like a holy symbol with holy water. Does she have holy water?
I imagine there's a cleric, definitely.
No.
I imagine you would have been able to get hold of some, right?
I think you can make some, can't you, with ceremony? Am I making that up?
Pretty sure you can.
Yeah, you can, but it costs like 25 gold, I think.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
There's Kieran there. I think he's gone.
Go on.
He gone.
I'm here.
He back.
I'm here.
Could Joan get access to holy water?
I feel like she could probably, with what she's done, she could probably make it herself from the water with her secret rites and stuff, so she'd have a supply of it.
Cool. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's what she would do. So she'd be drawing her symbol of a monitor on the floor. We zaal onze grote vader in de muur. Je licht is zo erg. Oh fuck no! I can't think of how to phrase any of this stuff.
You could say whatever you want and we'd have no idea.
Yeah.
I know it's Dutch, but
De zaal mijn ziel in vrede verlossen van degenen die onder velen van. Oh. Yeah. No.
Nurken in the Kirken.
Noken in de keuken. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That she. Samen in vrede verlossen van degenen die.
What would be like the gist of Jones trying to say, like saying, because Pierre does actually understand Elvish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
I think he's a half elf.
It would be about oh, that's a cool I've just googled like phrases in Dutch and it's come up with je houdt mijn ziel in een kerker, you keep my soul in a dungeon.
Amazing.
shit. It's weird that Kerker is dungeon. Isn't that meant to
A
be
phrase I
church
don't
in
imagine
German?
anyone would ever need. Ik denk dat ik mijn ziel in de koelkast vergat. I guess I left my soul in the fridge. Okay, so it would end with accepteer alsjeblieft mijn ziel in uw handen en heb medelijden met mij, which means please accept my soul into thy hands and take pity on me.
Okay, you'd sort of be, well, that was, your Elvish is, certainly better than mine.
Well, I am an elf. It is not necessarily so surprising.
My mother was an elf.
Oh, I did not know.
Yes, she, my father liked to, downplay the elven heritage. He was, a proud, noble human, as it were. But, my mother had, a private way of, celebrating her culture. But, you know, she was quite a private woman.
How was it not immediately obvious to everyone that she was an elf?
Well, I suppose it was, but, you know, my father, he could steer the conversation as even better than I can.
I see. Well, yes. I did not know that you also spoke Elvish. I will bear that in mind for the future if I have anything secret to say.
I wouldn't say I'm completely fluent or anything, but my mother certainly taught me a few phrases. She also liked to, for some reason, she liked to speak Halfling and Draconic as well. Can't say why, but she taught me a few phrases in each, to be honest.
Will you say something to me?
Oh, yes, of course. What could I say? Well, and he would he would say like a phrase in like part in Draconic, Elvish, and then Halfling. And
Imagine the halfling bit. It's just like, would you like some sun?
yeah. And he would just say, may a Monitor bless us all on this fine day. But yeah, doing the different languages. I'm not going to attempt it because, yeah.
Well, that is very impressive. Clearly I've underestimated you, Monsieur Rallyhorn.
Well, you know, I try my best. I actually, I came here with a bit of a purpose, I suppose. I wanted to apologize to you.
For what?
Well, you can see he looks kind of embarrassed and a bit shameful. And he just says, well, after Toby died, I think I blamed you a little bit.
That is understandable. You were mourning the loss of your best friend, your brother.
I know,
It
but
is
yeah, it's not fair that I would blame on anyone else. You know, twisted logic when your emotions get the better of you and someone you care a lot about passes before you expect them to. You know, I thought back to the day where we met and we fought those fearsome were-sheep, and you and Miss Wins were on the floor, and I had a decision to make whether to who to save, I suppose, and I thought, you know, Toby, he would want us to focus on the mission. He was a man of duty, of dedication, and I thought, Miss Afas, I will go to her, and then if I hadn't, then maybe he would still be alive. Because if we had no mission to protect you, then maybe we would be not here. But that's not fair. Of anyone to put that kind of the logic is flawed anyway. But
No, the logic is not flawed. I entirely understand, and I'm sorry that in undertaking this mission for my parents, that Toby is dead, and I don't know how to what I can possibly do to make up for this fact.
yeah, you do not.
It was not worth it.
You do not need to do anything, Miss Afas. It is Toby's duty was before when we came in. I'm not a man of duty or responsibility. I simply followed Toby's will because he was a man that I respected and looked up to, and but now his responsibility and duty is my responsibility and duty. So I just wanted to let you know that I plan on completing said mission that your parents hired us for, and I promise to keep you I'll do my best at least to keep you safe.
Well, I appreciate your dedication, and a monitor will smile upon you.
He kind of salutes with a little finger, and he's like, "Oui, madame." And of course, there was also part of me drawn here by the fact that, to be honest, I could not resist a moment longer waiting to hear from your poetry you spoke so highly about.
Yeah, well, it is but amateur.
Please, everyone has to start somewhere. Myself, you know, I could barely play a lute when I first started, and well, now look at me.
You can barely play a lute.
Well, I'm hurt.
I'll go drop them.
I really
kind of
wish
laughs.
Pierre could play a hurdy-gurdy. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I love hurdy-gurdies.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Oh my god.
I want to hear the poetry.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, the
I'm
poetry.
I'm genuinely embarrassed because it's so fucking bad.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
I know that's the point of it, but it is so bad that I genuinely am
so
like,
excited for this army. You
Remember,
don't
Anya, in
understand.
comparison to our attempts, it's a masterpiece.
Okay. Your delicate nostrils sniff the air, petals quivering like a hair. His nose sniffs my shoes as I pass, treading lightly on the grass. Golden flower, a Monitor's blaze, he creates your beauty to amaze. Godly glory in all I see, the meadows and the honeybees. A Monitor, you shine on me. I spread your word among us beasts. The only a man at all I'll ever need. Oh, bless my lord, my deeds for thee.
Great.
Great.
Amazing.
I'm gonna bump Jones' piety up by 1.
Yeah.
I
I like to think that Flora had a hand to play in that with the Amanator part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to roll a deception check to see if if Joe notices him laughing or not. 'Cause
Well,
he's
I'm wondering if Pierre would be like,
Uh-oh.
oh, no, if he would be like, oh shit, she doesn't need no man, as it were.
Yeah, I guess so.
Clearly, I've been spending too much time with Ziggy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you rolled a 13, so not great.
Still, I guess Jane's insight, right? Roll insight, Jane.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
15.
I think
Yeah,
you can tell that Pierre's a bard, and he's like, oh man.
Yeah, I think at the Amanator bit, he would be like a kind of sound like. Yeah, yes, it's very, very good. It
You
needs
laugh at me.
No, I don't mean to. Everyone starts somewhere, like I said. It
Just a tribute to a good friend.
Of course. It's I still think it's very it's a noble thing to do, honorable thing to do to
No.
write poetry for a
You
friend.
can stop now. You are not. You are not fooling me. Yes, you laugh at me. I see. Yes, it is always everybody laugh at Joan.
I'm sorry. It was funny though.
Well, perhaps my poetry is not the best, but at least I make up for it to a Monitor. At least he loves me.
I think everyone loves you in the camp, Joan. What about that Uriel? He seems awfully keen.
Yes, well, yes.
I may have been drunk out of my mind, but I couldn't help but witness you two sneak off together the other night.
A bad decision on my part that luckily I stopped before it went too far.
Why?
I remembered my pledge to a Monitor.
Does the Monitor frown upon these kind of activities?
Well, perhaps if I had not been so intent on flirting with Uriel, then a Monitor would not have decided to smite us by killing Toby.
He kind of looks down to that and he's like, I don't agree with that even for a moment. If your god is the type to smite someone out of existence for simply enjoying yourself, you're living your life, being free, then if that was my god, then you would certainly have no following eye.
Yes, well, I made this pledge to a Monitor. He has done much for me, and it is what clerics do. We sacrifice the best things in life because some things are more important.
Well, I would have other words for that, personally. I'd say your Monitor, he clearly has he's brought you this far. He clearly has faith in you as much as you have faith in him. I would say that perhaps you shouldn't be so I don't know, putting so many restrictions on yourself. Free yourself up. Let yourself live life the way you wish. Your happiness is surely a Molitor's happiness, no?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've scared Uriel off now, so I'm not sure there is any point.
Well, I've heard him very excited about an upcoming jousting event that he was supposedly doing in your name, so...
Yeah, if anyone's spoken to him this week, all he's been talking about, like, on the 20th of Flame Rule is the joust.
Yeah, I imagine so.
And he's always, like, showing off this thing that Jane gave him. He's like, yes, I'll be riding in a Molitor's name.
God, he's such a creep.
So I'm sure you have nothing to worry about, Joe.
Joan would sort of give him a wry smile and be like, yes, that was before he ended up sleeping on the floor.
But Pierre can't help but laugh, and he's like, sorry, it's a funny image of him resting on the floor whilst you take the bed.
Joan would laugh too and be like, it was quite funny. He is a very large, muscular man, and the blanket was so small.
I can imagine. Did he sleep with his armor on? I have to know. Some of these,
Yeah.
these warriors, they never take them off.
I never take my armor off, but every time he rolled around, it was like someone was throwing a kettle down the stairs.
Well, I'll have to keep that in mind, Mr. Kettle. Quite a fitting nickname for Mr. Uriel. But I've sorry, go on.
How so?
Well, him always in his armour, like you say, and planking along as he does.
A lot of hot air. Ooh!
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
I think Pierre would say that. Lewis is not that clever, but yeah. A lot of hot air.
Yes, perhaps my affections were slightly misplaced in Monsieur Uriel.
Well, true love has to find its own way in time, Mr. Farce. Maybe don't give up on him yet. He could still prove himself, but in the meantime, he'll be lovingly known as Mr. Kettle. And he goes and holds a hand to his chest.
Joan can't help but laugh, and I don't know, she would kind of like pat Pierre's hand and be like, I'm sorry, and I'm glad that you are more back to yourself.
He kind of nods and has a sort of slight sad look on his face. And he's like, yes, back to myself. I'm glad
Not
to.
fully, as yet, but that you have lost your brother. It is only understandable.
He kind of nods again, and it's just like, well, luckily I have, you to keep you and, of course, Liana and Miss Wins and many others in the camp to keep a watchful eye over me. And then he kind of squeezes her hand back slightly and says, I do appreciate it. And he kind of stands up and he says, but I've kept you too long from your holy rites, as it were. I do not mean to be a distraction.
Joan would just sort of like give him like a fervent nod and sort of go back to her prayers.
Yeah, and Pierre would say, I bid you adieu, Mr. Farce. And then Pierre would make his way back to his room.
And as he sort of shut the door, he'd hear a very soft like, good night, Pierre.
Oh.
So, towards the end of the week, I assume everyone's done what they wanted to do, like with talking to people, things like that.
I think so, yeah. I imagine Pierre would be definitely talking to Liana and Ember quite a lot, but I don't know about anything specific. I
think Ember would go and talk to Diligence quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to. I'm very curious about this book that she has.
Mm. Yeah, Diligence would be keen to share. I'm trying to think of how mean Diligence would be to Lucille. No, I don't think she would. I think when Ember sort of comes a calling, she'd dismiss Lucille, and she'd much more enjoy Ember's company. And yeah, she'd explain to her like how anything she wants to know, and she'd talk through the book and talk about kind of what it is to be a burgeoning war wizard in CORMYR and the duties. And I think Ember would definitely get the impression that there's a lot of time, a lot of duties, a lot of tradition, around all of that stuff. It's quite restrictive.
Sounds like a lot of restraint to me. Have you ever tried just going out and blasting all your magic all at once?
Well, she kind of like holds Ember's eye contact for a second and kind of narrows her eyes a little bit. And she's like, "No, but I must warn you, my blasting is not as impressive as yours. In the order, they encourage us to adopt an element, and well, I don't think you'll care for me saying this, but fire is often seen as something uncouth, I suppose."
I do understand. It's seen as pretty evil. Yeah, I could say in my clan.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Well, that's the way the elders see it anyway. I think it's awesome.
They don't see you as evil, do they?
No, I don't think so. They just think my fire comes from an evil place, as far as I think. But they're pretty.
Say wary is the best word.
Yeah, they're wary of it. Yeah.
Ah, well, that is more similar. We have had, I think, with fire, if someone adopts it as their signature element, it is more. They feel a need to prove themselves, so they try and go as big and powerful as they can, as quickly as they can, and that can lead to mishaps. I went for, well, you might have noticed, I went for acid. It is reliable. It is not fancy or sensational, but it gets the job done, I find.
Has she seen Diligence cast acid yet?
Acid splash, which would have been like.
She did the elemental as well.
And the elemental came up, yeah.
Yeah, I think she remembers definitely more the elemental thing. She says, well, I remember you doing the acid thing. I thought it was just kind of splashy, a bit like too much like water, you know, a bit gross. But definitely that elemental thing that you cast was really cool. It was really destructive.
That was a gift from my master. One use only, sadly. But yes, the acid elementals are lesser known, but I think they are in the right hands. Not that mine were, but with the right usage, they can be the strongest. Here, let me show you. And she would like lead Ember outside, probably near where Ember still has scorch marks on the ground where Ember blasted everything.
Yep.
And she would look a little bit unsure because this really isn't her thing, and she'd probably be nervously talking and saying that like, I'm really not a blasting kind of wizard. You've seen me, I try and disable and aid my anyway, here. And she would kind of straighten her back, and then it looks like she's pulling back a bow, like a bow pulling motion to loose an arrow, but there's nothing in her hands. And then just before she lets go of the arrow, there's like a flash of green, and you see like the outline of a green bow, and a green acid arrow shoots forward and strikes the ground a little way off. And it's a lot more impressive than the acid splash that she's done before.
Yeah, I think she's definitely surprised that something came out of an empty bow system. Whoa, you make things appear and it's acidy?
It's To be honest with you, it's what I always dreamed of doing back in Alamba? No, that's the guy. Dundarian Alamba. Arabelle, that's it.
How does everyone remember?
I do that.
fucking
I
guy's name?
always do that.
Yes, yeah.
Back in Arabelle, I dreamed of making interesting things appear, creatures, or I don't know, strange objects and puzzles. So that is my chosen specialism. I have chosen to specialize in the school of, it's called conjuration. It's about making things appear. And she would do the appearing in her hand, the little blaze doll in her hand.
Well, that is really cool. I wish I could make things appear. Although I did make Blaze appear at that one time. Maybe I
You
can do
did.
it again.
And you can make powerful quantities of fire appear, Ember, just from your hands and your soul.
That's true. I mean, the fire, I think, comes from the phoenix, not so much me. Well, kind of me. Yeah. What else can you make? If you conjure things, can you conjure a house?
She'd conjure a little model house.
A small house, okay.
I could, well, even Blaze is a little big, but I can conjure a little house for Chatterpie, and she'd make like a basic little doghouse style house and put it on her shoulder for Chatterpie. Yeah.
Oh, this is cute.
But even that's quite like tight for poor Chatterpie, who squawks as he gets into it. It is limited in dimension. Anything more, and I would be pulling on the fabric of reality too much. It might start to unravel.
Oh, unraveled reality doesn't sound very.
No.
Sounds pretty good actually. Chaotic, you know. Maybe you can unravel this box.
No, I will leave you to do the fiery unraveling of things. I'm more in the building and conjuring.
You know, sometimes the best way to disable something is to just destroy it.
I don't disagree. I've seen what you do, Ember. You are the beating, fiery heart of this group. You get things done. The rest of us are busy running around trying to stay alive.
I don't know. I think it was pretty. What was that dust thing you did that one time? That was pretty cool.
Ah, yes. She would conjure the dust devil nearby. And you'd see like it's like a little miniature tornado spinning around.
She will throw some fire in there, so now it's a fiery tornado. See? Even more awesome. We work well together.
That's a pretty cool combination, actually. It is a minor elemental from the air, plane of air.
Plane of air. You can see she just doesn't know what the hell that is.
Oh, Ember, don't tell me you don't know about the plane of fire.
Plane of fire?
There is a whole world like ours, made of fire and burning and fire elementals and creatures wreathed in flame.
That sounds so awesome.
I've always wanted to see a salamander, but I've only ever seen it in books.
Where are these books? I want to see these books.
Oh,
They have fire things.
They do. These are back at the. I will sketch one for you.
Where is this fire plane? I want to go.
There's a type of fire elemental called salamanders, Anya.
What a surprise for Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Tom's just being a dick and showing off his D&D knowledge. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Fuck. She would say to Ember, "It is well, there are many theories, but I agree with the prevailing theory of Mordenkainen that everything runs parallel to each other. So if you imagine in the fire plane, there might be a hill, just like this one that we stand on. Kind of like another version of our world.
Wait. You see, she's not really sure what you're talking about.
If you imagine, this is a good way of thinking of it.
No, that's what you're talking about. But...
Yeah. I think she'd spend some time trying to explain it. She'd probably try and she'd make like a little normal statue of Blaze and put it next to
Yeah.
Blaze and be like, normal Blaze, fiery Blaze, like normal panda, Blaze, normal panda, Blaze kind of thing.
I kind of get it. But if there's another equal fiery world, then we can't get there?
I do not possess the power, but there are learned or just innately skilled magic users who can travel between the planes.
Ooh.
They could take us there.
Well, you'll have to show me your friend's diligence when we come across them. I want to go see this fire plane. Maybe I'll learn some things.
If I can get there, Ember, I will do everything I can to take you with me.
Oh, that'd be good. I'll hold you to that diligence.
All right.
In the meantime, I can show you more chaotic spells.
Yeah, it would be
More
a bit
fun.
like a bit of a guilty pleasure for Diligence, seeing this like just joyous, unbounded use of magic, whereas Diligence is so much about like, have to do it this way and not do it like that, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and
Just watching Ember being like,
by,
woo, boom. It's very much living vicariously through Ember.
Yeah.
Right. So, is that everything for the week?
Yeah, I think Ember would also go talk to Pierre and Joan, but it would be more just general stuff.
Chatting.
Yeah, more chatting. And it would be more trying to cheer Pierre up a little bit with entertainment sort of stuff. Or trying to get him to join in. But, honestly,
I think he would.
more casual. Yeah.
Well, I'll just mention one thing going on at the end of the week that I imagine Pierre's probably organised throughout his pit fighting, his gambling, is a wrestling tournament.
Oh, shit.
And how I'm going to do it is, so we're going to do the semi-final and the final.
Nice.
But you're going to have to vote on who everyone thinks has made it to the semi-final.
Okay, that's really cool.
So
Definitely Ember.
I will tell you who's in it first.
Yeah.
Mullins is in it.
Yeah, what I eat against.
Amelie is in it.
Maybe.
Skoz is in it. Florian is in it. Titus, Rodri, Katia, Dewey, Ember. No, Pierre. Is Pierre in it?
Nah.
Nah, okay.
I mean-
Cross him out then.
Yeah, he might have competed in the early rounds, but I don't
Yeah.
think he wouldn't gone very far.
Okay, I'm going to cross Dewey out for that same reason. So,
I mean... Ember might have got through with agility and athletics, but probably not
So-
with strength.
we've got 7 candidates. I'll go down and everyone say, and if you think they might have got through, and then we'll get a good gist of who might have got to the quarterfinal.
Can we
the
do like an
semi-final.
audience reaction to each one, and you can judge it? Who's like got the best? one?
Okay,
So, like,
okay, that's a good idea. I mean, it's kind of similar, but more
Than
wrestling
everyone,
based, so
yeah.
it's cool. So, Mullins.
Medium.
Yeah. Low to medium. Medium rare.
Amelie.
Hey!
Woo! I
Yeah.
actually really think she'd have a point to prove after Toby and everything.
Okay. Skoz.
Yeah, she's
She's
strong.
strong.
Florian.
Yay!
When's Florian again?
I don't remember who Florian is, yeah.
He's the crazy brother of
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
who's like, yeah, fucking kill him!
Nah, you get
Nah, I don't
outwitted.
think
don't know, wrestling though. He's the kind of would just go fucking ballistic and like get a foreign object and
I think it depends on who he's up against, because like any smart opponent will abuse that. But yeah, maybe if it's like another, like against Mulins, he just destroy Mulins.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I think he could have gotten to the semi-finals purely just based
But-
on that.
There are 4 more people after
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
so
go
I'll
on.
leave him as a question mark. Rodri,
Yeah, she has
Yeah,
to.
definitely.
She's
Yeah.
far too talented.
Katia.
No, I think she's
No.
overconfident.
Let's see.
And then there's Ember.
Nope. Sorry.
No, sorry, Ember.
Yeah. If it's
So-
a battle of strength, then nah.
If I'm going with that, Amelie and Scores are definitely in.
hmm
Rodri's definitely in.
Yeah.
And then I think it'd be between Florian, Mulins, and Katia.
Yeah, is
Florian.
Uriel not wrestling?
No,
No.
he doesn't like Pierre enough.
He sees it as beneath him.
Well, he doesn't like Pierre, so he didn't want to get involved.
Oh,
in
yeah,
something
true,
that
true.
Pierre's in.
Florian. Florian.
Florian, yeah.
Yeah.
Florian.
He's just crazy enough.
So the first bout is going to be Scores versus Florian, and then it's going to be Rodri v. Wait, who else is there?
He's the Mick Foley
Amelie.
Yep.
Of the
Right.
Fort
So
Champion Wrestling crowd.
I've got these little rules here that Lewis kindly put into a little wrestling thing.
No, he's the Terry Funk. Sorry, no one's getting these references. But...
So, Lewis, if you'd like to read it out, and I'll calculate this for everyone.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, I made this. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made the little poster and everything. The pre-show warm-up. Before the fight begins, it's important to calculate how much of a chance you stand within the squared circle. To do this, each competitor must calculate their wrestling rating, WR. Your WR is equal to the sum of your strength modifier, your dex modifier, and if you're proficient in either athletics, acrobatics, or wrestling, you may add your proficiency bonus. If you have expertise, you may double your proficiency bonus as well. So for example, your strength mod equals +4, dex mod equals +2, proficient in athletics you get +2, your wrestling rating would equal 8. There are further modifiers that can affect your WR, and these are listed below. If you are a size larger than your opponent, you may add +1 to your WR. If you have a valet or supporter, someone with a charisma score of 16 or higher, to cheer you on, then you may add a +1 to your WR, limited to 1 person per fighter. If you observed or fought your opponent in 3 bouts, then you may add a +1 to your WR. Let's get ready to rumble! Bouts are usually played out in a best-of-3 scenario. To resolve each bout, the competitors must roll a d6 and add their WR. This roll is known as the opening round. If one competitor has a roll that is greater by 3 or more, then they claim the bout. However, if the scores differ by less than 3, then the bout goes long. In a long bout, unless their scores were tied, the competitor with a lower roll in the opening round takes a -1 penalty to their wrestling rating. In the long bout, the competitors may add their constitution modifier to their wrestling rating. So in the long bouts, competitors' WR may look like this: strength mod plus dex mod plus proficiency in athletics, lower roll in the opening round -1, and then com mod +2 would have a wrestling rating of 9. Once you've determined the new wrestling rating, the competitors roll another d6 and add their new WR. If the scores are still tied after the long bout, then the bout is declared a no contest, and the competitors are given a moment to rest and restart the bout.
Yeah, so it can be over very quickly, or it can go on for 3 rounds.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. I love
oh
those
my
rules, man.
God.
I mean, I
Right.
just adapted them from Kieran. I just
Yeah, I found some wrestling rules and then this adapted them.
Oh, cool.
I just made the little poster thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Okay, I'm going to give you an overview of the wrestling ratings for each character first. And I imagine everyone's around watching it, like all your guys are around watching it.
This is what Pierre's
Fine.
betting on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel like Diligence would have been dragged there.
Yeah,
The
I think
most-
Pierre would have even dragged Joan out of her run.
The most favoured. Oh, you had your proficiency bonus as well.
Mm-hmm.
Only if you're proficient
Oh,
in
yeah.
athletics,
Yeah, only if
Only if
acrobatics.
you're. That doesn't make sense though, because it's 8. So it's 4 to.
And then
Oh, right,
because
yeah, I
because
get
they're
it.
proficient in athletics, they get to add the
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, I get it. So, the most favoured fighter with the highest wrestling score is Rodri.
Yeah.
Then it is Amelie with 5.
Let's go,
Rodri's
Emily.
got 6. Scores has 2. Florian has 0.
Yes, Florian.
So, the first bout against, what does that say? Rodri and Amelie. I will roll Rodri first.
Would Pierre throw his backing behind anyone?
Yeah.
Or is he
I'd-
being unbiased?
Oh, yeah, because of a- in the
question.
rules,
He'd
yeah.
know he'd be betting on somebody.
Because he's got charisma of 16 or higher, right? So he
Yeah.
could give someone a +1.
And
Not
he's got pretty
Rodri.
good charisma.
Yeah.
I think he'd maybe go with Amelie. Like, he kind of respects her ties to Toby.
Mhm.
So he'd be kind of like, yeah, cheering her on. At least in this bout.
Okay.
So they're
So-
equal now, right?
What would he say to Amelie to pump her up?
He'd just be like, remember, winning doesn't matter, Miss Amelie. It is all about just showing them what you've got in there. And, you know, look, I know she's got glowing green eyes and, you know, that awful dragon creature. But you've got fighting spirit. Remember, you're from Griffin Hill. And Griffin Hill, well, you know, they got some pigs.
Is it sheep?
Sheep,
Yeah.
yes, sheep, yeah. Well, you know, they're essentially woolly pigs, aren't they?
Just like, I know it doesn't mean much, but I'll try and do it for Toby. He seemed to admire strength.
Yes, yeah, Mr. Legrand, you go in there and you think, I have the blessing of the great, the grand Toby Legrand behind me, and nothing can beat that. Now go on, get! Knock the green out of her eyes.
It was a D6, right?
Yeah.
So this is for Amelie.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
this is for Rage, right?
Yes!
So is that a 3?
Yeah.
3 difference?
Yeah, she pins her in the first thing.
Let's go.
So you see as they clash together, boom! But like Amelie's strength, she managed to like clutch her beneath the ribs, and she's kind of like pulls her up, and Roger's like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" And she just like jumps up in the air and slam down into the ground. And she's like, "Oh!" And you see like this slight amount of acid just spit from Rodri's mouth. And everyone around is like, "Woo!"
Yeah, even Diligence with that move would be like, what? Wow.
And Emily like kind of staggers back, and she's like, "What?"
I told you could do it.
Thanks, Pierre. Oh. You just see Rodri go back, and she's like sulkily like, "Bullshit." So the second round, Scores versus Florian.
Ooh, and we'll be giving back into skulls.
Yeah. Is she doing any of the fire?
Oh yeah, loads of fire. Fire sparkling everywhere. Loads of embers. She'll be like, "Come on, Skulls, you gotta do it for the rock, mother."
You just hear
Diligence.
Be like a rock.
Diligence would summon a little like stone statuette and give it to like nudge Ember in the ribs and hand her that, and it's like, heat it up, make it like a hot rock thing.
Oh, good idea. And she grabs it and she's like holding it up and we're heating it up like it's glowing hot now.
You hear Chad Mullins in the background. He's like, "Yeah, man, fucking rock the Casbah." And who is Pierre throwing his backing behind?
I think he would like give a pat on the back to Florian, but I don't think he's actually. He's gone like, yes, go show her what's for, and then he kind of like whispers over to someone else like, I'll give you a 5 on scores.
You see Florian's like, I'm gonna fucking kill her, man, but yeah.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Scores is just like, is this it, this puny boy? And I will roll Scores first.
Ooh, that's top dice fire,
That's
everyone.
Stupid dice.
And,
But Florian's got a 0 modifier.
mhm.
Yay!
It's not a
Oh,
great
long bout
fight.
though, yeah.
They crash into each other. There's a lot of mucking around before Scores is just like, ugh, and just like throws him back, and he's like, "It can't end like this!" And she's got him. She's got him down. And that
So
is
now they
Florian.
have to do the long bout.
Yep.
Oh, they do. So he's down on the floor.
So he's got a -1 now, and they roll again. And their con mod comes in as well.
Yeah, CORMYR comes
Oh,
in as well.
thank you. Oh god, this is really bad for fucking Florian. Okay, so Scores has him almost pinned. She's going for it.
Technically, you can still tie.
Ooh.
Nope.
And he struggles. He's like, no, no! And Scores is like, yes. And pins him. And I think most people in the audience are like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And finally, if Pierre would like to pump up the last round between Scores and Amelie.
Ladies and gentlemen, you find yourself in not only the grandest tournament in all of CORMYR, but the grandest fort across the Cormyrian army. Can I get a good clap for Fort Champion? It may be shit, but it's our fucking fort.
Yeah. Clap, clap, clap.
And
Chad
you-
Mullins would be like, I ain't seen a place better than this, man. It's better than Griffin Hill, that's for sure.
And we've lost many friends recently. So, in the honor of the late Grand Toby Legrand, I name this now annual tournament of the Cormyrian Army Legrand Tournament. The first annual Legrand Tournament, and the final for the first ever Legrand Champion. In this corner, we have the great bearded ginger dwarf herself, Mother Rock's own child. It is Scores.
She like holds her fist up in the air like a rock, and she looks around like, yeah.
Ember kind of climbs up at the back and does some little fireworky fire behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is quite the bulwark, one might say. But in the other corner, we have a woman who went further than any rounds than some expected. She has not only the strength of a lion, but the heart of one. And she is personally the hand chosen of Toby Legrand himself. In his honor, in this corner, let me bring you Legrand Chevrolet!
She does a little bow. And then she's like, I didn't ever think I'd get this far, but fuck it. And then she like gets in position, like, oh.
Let the combatants fight!
So this one is for Amelie.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Come
This
on,
one.
Emily.
Pretty
It's the
good.
scores.
Oh,
So they bash together. It's just like you can feel the crunch of bone against bone. It's pretty equally matched. They're together, like circling around each other. They will add their constitution modifiers. And then Emily gets, yeah, right. So this one's Emily again. This one scores.
no, scores.
So they're circling round and round and round. They're drawn. As for the moment, like no one seems to be getting the better of each other. What happens on the third and final round?
Well, that's it. She won.
Oh shit! Because it's more than 5.
Well, it's in the second round. As long as it's not tied in a long bout.
Oh
she
shit!
wins.
So you see them circling around. It's a pretty good match. Chad Mullins is just like, yeah, like this, and you see one point, Scott's leg just goes, and Emily like collapses on top of her, pinning her to the ground. Pierre, I can imagine him calling out the count.
Yeah, he'd be like 1, 2, 3.
And Emily stands up, and Scott is like, "Well done." Oh. And then would he take Emily's hand?
Yeah,
and hold it up
he
to
would
everyone?
like jump into the makeshift ring and then hold up a hand. He's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have your first ever Le Grand Champion." And then he would signal to Liana, who I'd imagine he would have told to sort of construct with her conjuration to construct like a little wrestling belt.
Oh yeah, she would with the Le Boulay crest on the front of it.
Hell yes. And then he would take it from her and he would like go behind her and then clip it round her waist.
Yeah, and she looks pretty proud. And
Diligence would summon the Tensor's floating disc and gesture for Emily to step up onto it.
Oh yeah, Emily would step up onto it. You can see like her top's like ripped. She's got a classic wrestler's pose, and she's like doing the stances above. And as this grand ceremony comes to an end, seeing as I'm awarding feats for all the quests completed that are side missions,
Oh shit!
Oh, shit, that's so cool.
Pierre, you can take the entertainer.
Oh,
Oh
awesome.
yeah!
Pretty good.
Thank you. What does that do?
So
Yes.
every side mission that is from a side character will reward a feat. And it might be one that's in the rules, or it might be one I just made up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's this one?
It's one that is in the rules.
Is it? I can't see it.
No, I can't see it either.
Entertainer?
Isn't that a background?
Do you mean
Oh,
actor?
shit. I mean actor.
actor.
Fuck, yeah, that's what I
Oh,
mean.
nice.
Yeah, sorry.
That's alright.
Most of them are made up. There's only a few that aren't.
Nice. Holy shit, I got 19 charisma now.
Nice.
And I have advantages on deception and performance checks from trying to pass yourself off as a different person.
Ha!
And you can
That's
mimic the
awesome.
speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures that you've heard.
Ooh. You can sound like Ember.
Mm-hmm.
Sound
Sound
like
like Chatterpie.
Blaze. Sound like Joan. You can do double Joan.
Double
Joan
Joan all
all
the way. Hey, yeah. Awesome. I've put that on.
And Chad Mullins would come up to you shortly after. He's like, "Man, that was a great idea, Pierre. You really gave it to me."
Well, I certainly try, Mr. Mullins.
He's like, man, I was thinking, why does this have to be just here? Maybe we could spread it throughout the army. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, quite. I don't see why not.
I mean, we've got a champion from Fortress Champion, so, they are going to be the champion. But what about, Guok or Guak? Is that how you say it?
You suggesting we take Miss Emily on the road?
What I'm saying, man, is you can get a big wigs down on it. I'm thinking it's good for morale, yeah? Biggest men in CORMYR, or biggest women. And you know how much I like big women, man.
Well, Mullins, I will not lie. I will not deny it. You were the true brains behind this operation, so if I can leave it in your hands and you want to set these bouts up, I'm more than happy to have my approval.
Well, see, the thing is, man, I can't go outside of Fort Champion. You guys get to wander around. I was thinking maybe you go to Fortress Guark, try and arrange a few things, and we could get a whole tournament going across the Stonelands. You know what I mean, man?
Oh, yes, of course. I suppose I could do that if you want to write me up a few proposal letters. I could see what I can weave a bit of Rallyhorn charm, as it were.
Hell yeah, man. Back when I heard about this girl, she's from Arabelle. She was called... What was she called? She was called Coralie Blondin. She's meant to be at Fortress Guark, and apparently she's a good wrestler. So maybe you should try and find her.
Okay, I will have a look for her.
Yeah, and she's pretty fit, man. So that's another reason, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes. Yeah, a good day, Mullins. Mullins. And he sort of pats him on the shoulder.
He looks at you and he's just like, full champion for life, yeah, bro.
Of course, for champion for life, yes. He's just kind of trying to get away from Mullins. He can't handle him when he's not drunk.
Yeah, he puts on his little sunglasses that make him blind. He's like, yeah. And looks away. Right. So, I think eventually it reached a point where it'd get to the 26th of Kythorn. You'd have a meeting in the morning in the command room with Ruther and all the other commanders in the fort, trying to decide which mission that you want to do next. And I will take you over there. And I'm just going to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
What mission does everyone want to do?
Yeah.
Jellies!
Jellies!
Diligence wants to do the Mage Tower.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, also. I mean, that was originally his idea, so...
Ember is very curious about the Mage Tower, but it's not her number one. I think it'd probably be... Jellies to help out Dewey. Yeah.
How far is the jelly one away, do we know?
I don't know.
Because if it's like down the road, then it might not be so bad.
I don't know, yeah.
What does Joan think?
Joan's asleep, maybe.
But she made her promise to Liz.
Mm.
She wouldn't dare fall asleep.
She was telling me earlier she feels quite ill today, so you have to forgive her.
That's alright. Okay, we'll call her Ilnya.
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 What do you think? What nickname could you call Anya that'd be the most annoying to Anya, Tom?
She hates any of the mispronunciations.
Like Armjo.
Anja.
Anja. Like Kieran always says Anya, which is wrong.
Anya.
Anja.
Anya.
What is it? There's one that does annoy her.
Anger.
Oh, Ange, like the Ange. Because her dad's always like, go on the Ange. She's like, fucking say my name properly.
Big Ange.
Ange.
Yep.
It's more like
Gan.
Angela, though, isn't it?
Ganja
Weird.
Ange.
Oh no! Yeah, that definitely wouldn't go down well.
What, calling Anya Ganja?
Yep.
I haven't heard anyone say Ganja in a long.
Ganja.
Big Ganja man.
Wagwan.
I'll never forget your reaction to me saying shit like that at Luke's house, Kieran.
God.
Fucking exploded. So great.
Mine is probably Hannah Montana because it went through a phase of it being super popular and it was really annoying.
It's really weird with the
Amazing.
name Hannah because
Yeah.
me and Hannah were looking at it and it was like super popular in between this like 5-year range and then it just
Yeah.
died out.
I think it's probably because I can't remember her actual name. Left
Miley
Disney, didn't she? I
Cyrus.
think. Yeah, Miley Cyrus. Yeah. I can't remember. She like went all like smickshaw, didn't she? And Disney didn't like it.
But wasn't like your names were pre-2000, right? Or like 93 to 98 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know what like caused it, but apparently it's rising again.
Yeah, they go in waves, don't they?
Whereas Griffiths, 10th popular name in Wales here, 37th in Britain. Yeah.
Big man Japan over here.
I'm pretty sure Evans is pretty popular, right?
Evans is probably like number 1 in Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Actually, I'm curious now.
Right. So if this little meeting, shall I remind you which quests that you have?
Evans is the 4th most popular. It's Welsh.
Hey.
Missions. Well, I think it's a choice between 2, isn't it? Really? Jellies or Wizard's Tower.
It's 9 because I would know actually that it works out with 3. I don't want to be deciding fucking vote.
So what are people voting for?
I think Ember would vote for the jellies just for Dewey.
Yeah, makes sense. And Diligence is to vote for the Mage Tower for Lucille and for her own stuff, yeah? So you are the deciding vote.
Fuck! Each make your case to me.
What did Jones say?
Joan said Z, 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 Z. I imagine. I'm not keen to ring her because she was saying earlier she feels really ill today.
Oh, fair.
She's got the bad times.
It's all good.
Plus, we
Plus-
might end up with 2v2
Exactly,
then, and then
yeah. That's
it's
my
better
thinking.
with a third factor. My case is that
Oh, wait, I'll tell you
there's
one
going to
thing
be
first.
swag magic items there, and I want them.
I'll tell you one thing first. If you decide to go to the Jelly Cave, Ruverit's going to tell you that... I'll show you the map. So, from what Dewey said, and that you've sort of gleaned, Ember, you'd know that the Jelly Cave is somewhere over here in these mountains.
These ones up here. Oh.
These ones
yeah.
down here. If you said to Ruverit that you wanted to go that way, he'd be like, you should probably go to Fort Guark on the way just to check it out. The Wizard Tower is over here.
So in that case, I think we should go to the Wizard Tower first because I think Guark is going to be like a bigger. It's like a bigger deal.
Possibly.
And, yeah,
Yeah, I think.
that's
Yeah.
my mindset. And the
Yeah,
Wizard
Wizard
Tower
Tower
is
is
slightly
closer
closer.
as well.
Yeah.
Not go round the. Yeah, you gotta go around this river.
I mean, the jelly
I suppose
cave
you
could
go
be
over them.
anywhere in these mountains, but they're definitely in those mountains.
Plus, we don't know where it is, so there's going to be searching for it as well.
Yeah, and Toby
Yeah.
identified where the wizard's tower was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In that case, I think Wizard's Tower makes most sense.
Yeah, and also I think that if we're gonna go to the jelly cave, Ember might wanna go slightly up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wizard's Tower. As much as I want to do Jelly Cave, I think Wizard's Tower makes the most sense based off the fact.
Yeah.
I don't think stopping Guac right now makes a whole ton of sense. Plus, it's longer. Like in total, it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll go to the wizard. We'll go to the wizard's tower first, I think. But yeah, if we go to Jelly Cave, I think Ember will want to definitely go to the Tabaxi up here after. It's quite far away though. I don't know.
Far is it? Is it super far?
Well, it's 40 miles to the Jelly Cave, and then from the Jelly Cave, it's
30.
another 30.
Shall I show you the places that you kind of know the location of, but not really?
Yeah, go on.
Hang on, that might be it actually. Whoops. Yeah. Also, with Scozz's mission, it's somewhere to the west, but you don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So
I assume hers
it's
is going to be in
somewhere
these
over
hills
here.
somewhere, right?
Well, who knows?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wizard's Tower then. Let's get that.
So it feels like the Jelly Tower, when we do the Jelly thing, it's like going to be 3 missions in one.
Jelly
Jelly Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Writing that down.
Yeah, that's what.
So that one could be 3 missions in one, potentially.
Okay. Turning back to the room.
Depends, I suppose. Depends how dying we are.
Yeah, I think Wizard's Tower.
Yeah.
Right. So I imagine everyone's sat around talking about where you could possibly go next.
Yeah. Blaze is sitting on top of the map, making little burning paw prints in it.
I'll put Diligence in this room next to Lucille.
No,
Terrific.
Blaze, get off the map. And she pulls him up onto her lap instead.
So imagine Berard would be like, we have to consider the raptors. They're only getting more intelligent.
Yeah, don't fucking believe this guy for even a second.
I've been stalking them the whole week.
Is he eating something at the same time?
Yeah, he's got a ham bone. I've seen them pick up tools, seen them chop wood. I think they're dangerous, and by far, we should stop them in their tracks.
This is the first Diligence has heard of this, right?
Yeah, probably.
She would kind of look around to see how everyone else is reacting to him saying this.
Lucille's just like,
Yeah,
Okay.
Super distracted. With
yeah,
Blaze,
thinks this
kinda.
guy's fucking nuts, and it's just like, oh yes, the raptors are so clever.
you can see the Vicomte's like, it is an interesting proposition.
Diligence would speak up and say, excuse me, do you have any idea as to the source of this unique intelligence?
The land is dark at the moment. Have you seen the leaves? They turn before the time. It's almost like it's autumn when it's summer. There's a darkness spreading through this land. If you all haven't seen it, I don't know what you're looking at.
I see. Well, I would be interested to observe a strange phenomena, such such as this, but I am myself am keen to explore the Mage's Tower.
Lucille's like, I agree, Diligence. You are right. I will come. Seeing as it was my idea.
Of course.
Rupert's like, well, we can't forget, obviously, about the missing caravans or, well, the intelligent raptors. And Vincent here was saying that Rurel and Colette weren't back yet, but is that something we should worry about, Vincent? Vincent's kind of like, well, we expected them to be gone for 2 weeks. It's only been one, so we should give them time. Looks at Pierre, Joan, Rodri, and Ember. Have the recruits said anything to you about anything interesting in the Stonelands?
Ember is about to say something, but she's not sure if she should mention the Rock Mother or not.
Yeah, Pierre would just be like, no, not at all. Mullins is more focused on his wrestling than anything outside the fort.
Hear Rodri from the back. It's like, my apprentice had a interesting mission in the catacombs of Fort Guac, but if other missions are too pressing, then I guess it wait. But,
The jellies. The jellies is one.
Rupert
There's
looks up at
potentially a
you.
really big rock we could go and see.
A big rock.
Uh,
Jellies.
a jelly rock, no, but a jelly. Hang on, I'm getting confused. A jelly cave and a rock.
Rupert looks down. He's like, well, I suppose he kind of looks around at Diligence and Lucille. He's like, a jelly cave sounds interesting. Right? Looks at Diligence.
I suppose I am intrigued by the prospect of rare or unique fauna, but what exactly do we stand to gain from exploring this cave?
I think it was sanity, Dooley said.
I don't understand. Does he have some kind of ailment?
Yes, he has clodoitis. Horrible ailment, you don't want to catch it.
Diligence hides a giggle with her hand. I see. Well, I do feel for our beleaguered friend and would gladly throw in my lot with the team. And she smiles and nods to Ember and to Pierre and Joe.
Yeah. Though, Dewey is interested in magic, so maybe he would want to do the Wizard's Tower first anyway.
The deal is like, I will be accompanying you, don't worry about that. And Rupert's just like, we can't spare too many of you. If Lucille's going, I'm afraid your brother will have to remain here. Miss Wins.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have to come, but I'll just
He's,
have to tell him all about it, won't I?
He's very able. I've seen his magic, obviously, firsthand, and
Yeah, but, fire's better.
I mean, Slugger thought so. He kind of like smiles. So, this Wizard's Tower. Are you?
Yeah.
This is your goal for now.
It certainly seems like it.
Sounds like it. How far away is it? Should we take the horses?
It is about
25 miles, isn't it?
Yeah, 25 miles it was.
20. It's 25 miles. It shouldn't take long on the horses. I know that Diligence has a little nag that could get her there promptly.
Yeah. So what? Hang on. What else are we expecting when we're at this wizard's town? Well, I suppose we're expecting there to be a wizard, right?
Well, it's difficult to tell. It was abandoned in the scouring, from what I know, and apparently it was visited by a chosen of Mistra who may have left certain artifacts there. I do not know who controls it now, but I assume with the magical power there's many opportunities that we can exploit. Isn't that right, Diligence?
Exploit is a strong term, Lucille. But yes, I believe that whether or not the items are intact or have been plundered by others, I believe that knowledge could be gained from our work there. There is activity in the land. We have all seen dark clouds and strange behaviors. I think perhaps from our time there we could learn more, and knowledge, I believe, is power, and we need to grant the army what power we can so that we can deal with the situation here in the Stonelands.
I believe Master Appendorf said it had a majestic library. So maybe a chance to acquire scrolls and knowledge that could benefit us, Major Chevrolet. Sort of nods.
Or would it have books on the fire plane? Ember chimes up.
It is possible. I do not know what they were studying there, Ember, but
Well, sounds like a yes to me. Let's go.
you hear Roger from the back. She's like, yes, it sounds most interesting.
Mm.
When you hear Berard and he's like, but the raptors.
We're all laughing, but they're going to be the fucking big bad evil guy of this
Yeah,
campaign. And
I'm-
Kieran will be like, if you just taken that mission, you'd be alright. But they built their death ray, and now you're all fucked.
You're totally right, and I'm terrified.
Yeah, Diligence would look pretty satisfied with people wanting to go to Mage Town.
Rupert looks over at Pierre.
Yes, I think this Mage Tower certainly seems like a place of opportunity. Mrs. Legrand spotted it himself.
Hang on, we've got one more person to ask. And she holds Blaze up. And he just stares at everyone.
Kit kind of leans back in his seat, uncomfortable, like.
One ear flick for the Mage Tower, and 2 ear flicks for the jellies. He flicks his tail.
I think you might want to go see the raptors, Miss Wells.
I think so, yeah. Well, 1 vote for raptors.
You see Berard come round. He's like, your beast is wise.
Yeah, so wise and so intelligent, these raptors.
The Viscount speaks up and he's like, well, I think an idea for you to go to a wizard's town or imagine the spells and power and kind of looks over at Diligence like, oh, magic.
Diligence just gives him a humble nod.
I think we are in safe hands with Liana here. I think there is no more talented wizard than her.
This feels like that. But knows to shut up.
Diligence looks simultaneously uncomfortable, but also very smug towards Lucille. Well, then, there's no time to waste. we should gather ourselves and prepare for our journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Reverett would nod. He's like, everyone knows what we're doing.
Yes, let's
Vicomte.
head out on the morn. And then he kind of lets the Joan a tour. And then winks at her.
Oh no, I'm sad Anya's asleep. That was
Yep.
great.
Kind of looks around. He's like, we all know what we're doing. Vicomte, you're here. Everyone else. I wish you good luck, everyone. I don't know what a wizard's tower has in store for you, but I'm sure you can handle it.
Yes, Chevrolet. And don't forget to congratulate the new champion, your sister.
Yes, she did well. She's very willful.
Yes, very.
She always used to beat my brothers,
I can't say I'm surprised after that performance.
even though she was half their size. It's most impressive. I'm glad you're looking after them, all of you. I'm sad that I can't do it myself, but kind of gestures around. Running a camp like this, well, needs a lot of work.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, adieu, gentlemen and ladies.
Bow to you. So, how are you getting ready for your next adventure?
Good question.
Ember's gonna go say hello to Charcoal, who she's not really spoken to for a week.
Mm-hmm. Whoops.
She's gonna see if there's any saddles that are fireproof. Probably not.
I mean, all the saddles will be the same, rough
Yeah.
leather.
Should pick the one that looks the most fireproof. Which should probably they all look the same.
The most blackened one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pierre's gonna go get Asia ready.
Mm.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, he's taking Asia, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I better move that from somewhere else.
I did see you'd put him under Rouvret.
I did.
Or her under Rouvret, sorry.
If Pierre had
Yeah, it's a
asked,
lady.
he would have given it up. What about practicability?
He can have Mulan's.
Practicality.
I don't think he'll take Mulan's.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would.
Alright.
Moon's 2.
Mulan's too, yeah.
Electric Boogaloo. What would... Yeah, so Diligence is feeling quite responsible for this mission. She would want to make sure we have plenty of rope. Everyone's got a length of rope, if we can take that from the fort, if we have supplies.
Yeah, there'd be quite a lot of rope.
So just want to make sure
Rope.
everyone has rope. That...
50 foot.
Yep, 50 foot of hempen rope.
I will give Lucille Mulan's.
Aha! Amazing.
Perfect.
That people either have a torch or a lantern. Don't know what's available at the fort.
I have a lamp, but I don't know.
More likely to be a torch.
Mm-hmm.
We'll add a torch.
I'll probably add
So
some
Diligence would be
torches as
super
well.
organized and be like laying out everyone's equipment for them to take in like neat little piles.
Oh, this is a lot to carry.
I know, Ember. I promise when we get there, perhaps depending on how it is, I may say we leave some of it with the horses outside.
No, true. You can carry it, Charcoal. And she looks at him.
Just looks back.
Yeah.
What else is a good idea to have? Everyone's got a dagger at least on them.
Probably. Ember's got her own claws, so
God, I imagine Ember's bag being exactly like Tom's work bag and just being a complete jumbly mess of crap. Like, there's probably a dagger in there somewhere. One. Good adventuring kit. Climbing stuff? We got climbing stuff? I know Ember can climb anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring
I
a
mean,
short
how stocked is Fort Champion?
I have a lot of basic stuff, but I wouldn't have anything extravagant.
Yeah. So would it have a climber's kit?
Hmm.
Or would
Might
it be
have-
like, might have like one set of
I
crampons?
think it would have like one climber's
Yep.
kit.
Has
She
it got
would.
like a hook, like a little, you know, what the people you tie a rope and it goes on the building and you hook it to it.
Grappling hook.
Maybe in the
No,
climber's
not
kit, I imagine.
grappling.
Pistols.
Is it
Mhm.
grappling? Oh no, I don't know actually.
She would make sure we have enough rations.
I think you've got a group rations, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Team
We
Trois
did, didn't we?
inventory. 28 rations.
Oh Jesus, that's fine then.
Well, speaking of rations, did we take the Strahd ones off? Can't remember.
Probably not.
I did it during the session.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
We're kind of fine because so many of us don't need to eat.
Yeah. We have
Fuck.
sleeping stuff like tents.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have any.
Don't think I have a tent. No. What about-
Diligence doesn't even have a bedroll. Damn it, Diligence. It's only wizard inventories.
Yeah, I ain't got one either.
Can I add a bedroll, Kieran?
Yeah, you can add a bedroll. It'd be in. There's so many tents and everything, but you'd definitely be able to get a bedroll.
Bedroll.
Bedroll as well.
And then yeah, two-person tent or three? Don't know. Because we've got Lucille.
Lucille lives in a tower. If you'd like to take anyone's tent, you might be able to ask them.
I think Pierre would be alright with the bedroll.
At the moment, as you walk outside, it's clear skies. It's a bright summer's day. And this region's quite dry anyway.
Okay.
Though you do
Diligence wants to
know
be
that in the
prepared,
Stonelands
though.
there can be some pretty bad storms if it
Yeah.
starts.
Is there just like a big swatch of canvas at all? Because we've got all the ropes, so we could just having a tarpaulin that we could put up somewhere might be good.
There'd be bolts of cloth for sure that you could take. You could forge like a pretty
Is it
rudimentary.
waterproof?
It might be thick
Waxed
enough to be
cotton?
waterproof. There might be some. They'd probably have it for you if you're going out. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And then Wizard's Tower.
Can't think of anything. Maybe some glass bottles. They might have some kind of like liquidy stuff there.
That's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, like glass bottles or vials.
They wouldn't have many. They probably have 3 or 4.
Ember's got a herbalism kit. That'll have some in it.
Nice.
I'll take a couple of glass bottles.
Is there anything that the CORMYR military uses as an alarm system, but not like the beacons? I mean, on a person-to-person squad basis? Like, do they have
Signal whistle, maybe?
whistles or bells
They
or?
probably have a bell.
Okay.
And there'd be some pretty. Well, you know, a bell is not that handy because it alerts everyone where you are, but they're not. You haven't got anything super fancy like a whistle.
Diligence would insist that we at least have one bell with us. I mean, she can conjure one herself, but for other people,
Bell.
yeah, like a hand bell.
We take a ladder with us because it's going between floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sling it on the side of a horse.
Yeah, you could take a ladder.
I like the ladder.
What, like 35-foot ladder?
No, like it says just 10 foot in the.
Oh,
Uh,
not as
in the
long as
picture here.
Ilkas is left.
No.
The swag ladder.
If I got art of him done, it'd definitely have that ladder in it. Like, yeah, leaning against it with his staff.
Maybe we want. Would you want like paper or like stuff to copy spells, Tom?
Yeah, that reminds me. I wanted to ask you, Kieran, because obviously D&D World, Medieval, Land, or whatever.
Yeah.
Paper might be quite rare / valuable.
I don't think there'd be that many in the fort because
Yeah.
he's
Diligence
essentially-
has 10 sheets of her own. That's wizard starting equipment.
I
but,
reckon Lucille might have 10 sheets as well.
Emma
Yeah.
also have 10 sheets, but would she actually have 10 sheets?
They've been ruined.
She might have stolen it from the library when they left.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's like, might need this. Or Dewey might have been like, take these for me.
Yeah, true. I have Dewey's sheets.
Dewey's draft novel.
How I became an ice cream man.
No, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ring of Featherfall, that'd be great.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
I'm gonna leave some stuff behind in my chest, such as Toby's Mastercrafted Warpick and some other bits that I don't need. And I'm also gonna leave Toby's ashes behind as well.
Ooh, Toby.
Oh yeah, I've got loads of shit that I'm just leaving. Sticking it in a backpack.
Oh yeah, I've got Toby's ashes. Oh yeah, I've got loads of shit too that I'm gonna stick.
Yeah, I added the chest to my thing so you can, so I can show what I've left behind and what's actually on me. Pretty useful. Cool. Do we have everything we need then?
As far as I can think of.
Awesome. I think we're
Okay.
ready and raring to go then.
Yeah.
Sweet. So it's going to be... Who's setting out with you? It's going to be Rodri, Lucille, and the rest of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'll send you over to the map. So you're currently here.
Mhm.
Not far to Wizard Tower. Probably take you, what, less than a day?
And I think
you probably get...
we're here, right?
Oh, thanks, yeah. You're about 25-30 miles from it.
It would take about a day, just over a day. Because you can go, what, 24 miles and then... Let me just check travel again.
So what, you'll probably try and stop a little bit before it and try and see stuff.
Marching. If we went fast, we could get there in one day. Well, we could get there in what would be 4 miles an hour. So for 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, it'd be like sort of 7-8 hours.
And then we're being
If we wanted to do that.
non-stealthy.
Yeah. Or we also get -5 to our passive perception score, so we're less likely to notice something if we bump into something.
Dangerous, but also tempting.
Because it might mean we just pass something by not staying out in the night. Actually getting there, but we still have to rest like at the tower.
Yeah, we'd be getting there as we need to sleep almost.
Yeah.
Maybe not then. Just normal.
Yeah. I think
How
maybe just normal.
how far is it? 25.
25.
30.
30. Yeah. Oh, no, wait, it's 25. You're right.
It's like just 26, I think.
Actually, we could get there. Well, 24 miles a day. Oh, hold on, I just need to go let Hannah in because someone locked her out. She needs to change.
Oh.
Yeah, it was me. No. It wasn't me.
DM locked the door. Can you imagine if Diligence gets to a high level and she could do some wizardy stuff and turn Toby's ashes into a diamond?
Oh.
And then he'll be stone. He'll be like a gemstone.
Good. To the wizard's tower. We're off to see the wizard. Wizard who might
God.
not exist.
Yeah, will there be a wizard there? Will it just be fucking Slugger's cousin, Schmugger? Just there with his little. It'll just be Armitage funnel cake. He'll be like, "Welcome to my tower."
Oh,
Big
no.
magic, little magic, magic.
I'm back, by the way, but Hannah's still peeping.
I might stop at 11 if Anya's asleep.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah. Oh, wizard tower.
Yo, Wizard's Tower.
Jelly.
Oh shit! I need to see whether I prepared. Also, I found a fucking item, Kieran, that Hamish has to have.
What
I
is
can't
it?
believe they made this item. It's called a Feywild Shard.
Uh-huh.
It's only uncommon, requires attunement by a sorcerer. This warm crystal glints with the sunset colours of the Feywild sky and evokes whispers of emotional memory. As an action, you can attach the shard to a tiny object, such as a weapon or a piece of jewellery, or detach it. It falls off if your attunement to it ends. You can use the shard as a spellcasting focus while you hold or wear it. When you use a meta magic option on a spell while you are holding or wearing the shard, you can roll on the wild magic surge table in the player's handbook.
Oh.
Then blah blah blah. If you don't have the wild magic sorceress origin, this only happens once per day. But if you do have the wild magic sorceress origin, like Hamish does,
Holy shit.
every fucking spell, it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna roll on it 3 times. Blah.
I wish I could find that that D10,000 thing that I thought they used in Strahd.
Yep.
I wish I could find that poster because it was so stupid. Just fucked up the whole campaign. Don't even know why the DM let them use it.
Yep. That must have been a strange moment.
Okay. Oh fuck. No. Is Hannah back?
Some DMs have a very
No, not yet.
like passive attitude to that stuff though. Like they kind of let the players do what they want. Full stop.
I mean, I can understand that. Sort of.
Like I
Is it
was
low or-
training my student DMs today, and they were just like, "What if the players do this? What do I do then?" It's just like, you're the DM. You can just say no. Like obviously, it's better to negotiate and come to some compromise, but at the end of the day, it is your game that you're running.
Yeah.
The players need to respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a contract, isn't it? Like you can go off the rails, but you can't go too far off the rails because otherwise you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, and it won't be fun.
It's like,
yeah.
I want to go up here. It's like up here, and it's like, well, that's a bunch of marshland with nothing in it. Like, I'm sure we could go up there, but
We're gonna go there and build a house.
then I'm going to have to do tons of stuff up there,
Yeah.
or just be like, there's nothing up there.
I think we've all
Go here.
matured in how we roleplay that stuff now, though. Because I think, like, early on, like, with Faye and with, like, Marlin and I'm trying to think of other characters, but especially those two come to mind for me in particular, where it was like, it was points where it was like, well, they're just gonna fucking leave, kind of thing, or it's just like, remember when like Sibley pissed off Marlon? It's like, well, he's just gonna leave. It's like, well, okay, but that's kind of the end of the adventure.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Marlin. Still love you, Marlin.
He's a good boy.
Shout out to my boy.
Shout out.
I thought he had a pretty wholesome ending, personally.
He had a lovely ending.
Mm.
With his discount magic carpet store.
Yeah. They called it Ian Wright's.
That was one nice thing about that campaign being completely uncanon. Is the ending could just be whatever it could be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you've made it your own canon version in our world, right, Kieran?
Sort of. There's
Like the
Yeah.
characters are out there or dead, but like,
Marlin. I know where Marlin is. I know.
No.
I think I know where Skada is. But it depends if you agree.
I know
But-
Hannah's got plans for a
I
rail,
vaguely
don't you?
remember you saying stuff before, and I
They
thought
were
that
going to
sounded
be
good.
in Arconauts, but it kind of ended, so I decided to save them for something else.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said you had plans for a rail, didn't you, Hannah?
Not really plans. I just kind of would know where she would be if anyone were to ask. But it's not necessary.
Basically, Marlin's in Leylon, so we got to know.
Oh God!
Hanging out
I've
with
already guessed
Tugly.
why he's in Leylon.
Hanging out with Tugly.
No, he's hanging out with the other guy.
Yeah, Lewis.
Oh, what?
Why am I seeing Tugly in our character creation pile?
What?
There's like another version of Tugly's.
Oh, that's the original
sheet.
Tugly that I just now use for like testing magic items on and shit like that.
Ah, okay. Got ya. So I was like, level 20, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just leveled him up to level 20 and made him some kind of sorcerer or something because I was just like, fuck it. I think actually I made him shadow sorcerer because I wanted to see what spells Pitch would get and stuff when he leveled up.
Ah, that makes sense. Oh, Pitch.
Plus I had there was some stuff early game I'll just tell you now, but it never came. It was never never came about.
Tugly with Strahd. No.
There was some stuff that never came about where if Pitch had been like given in enough to Delbin, and committed enough to that stuff, then there would have been a point where if he had been in like massive danger, like specifically like especially from like the shadows, then Pitch for one fight with a selected spell list that I would have curated would have randomly gone to level 20.
Ooh!
Yeah, and yeah. And
I cast Wish.
so I had that Tugly character
Selected
sheet.
spell list.
Yeah, so, I had Tugly like prepared with that shit, and so I could,
That's awesome.
if I wanted to, I could be like, now this is Pitch.
Did you?
Holy
Alright, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
I love my VO
So-
on my hand when it was there.
Oh, I miss Kendall so much.
Dark. It's so
Where
dark.
am I?
Remember when Farrah burned that man? That was weird.
Oh, Tugly and Strahd would have just been like,
God,
cool.
no.
What the fuck? Right. We're traveling. I think normal pace is the way to go.
Yeah, I think. Actually, do you know what? I think we should just go slow.
Yeah.
Because
If we're not going to get there in one day, why not be smart?
exactly, we still can get 18 miles,
Mm.
and then it'll be 12 miles in the morning.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Think that's smart.
Let's do that.
It's pretty
So we
smart.
can use stealth.
Stealthy horses.
Okay. So if you're setting out, so slow is what, 12 miles?
18.
18. Okay, yeah. So for the first like length of a journey, can you? I assume you're going stealthily if you are.
Yeah.
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 I've got
Roll me stealth
disadvantage.
checks.
I've got disadvantage on stealth now. 'cause
And
I'm lugging
also-
around Toby's shield.
No,
Roll me
no.
perception checks.
Oh, fuck's sake. It would have been a natural 20, but it's 13.
Diligence is not helping the situation. Ember is though.
I need to roll Rodri.
You're gonna need to roll for
Interesting.
Joan, Tom.
Oh, yep, I can do that. Not a problem. Jane.
Jane.
You're right, Jane.
Right, Jane.
Oh, I forgot that Flora.
Oh,
She's the
I love
best.
Flora.
Ooh, there we
Well.
go. That makes sense.
Maybe one day you can go
Snoring too loud.
Well,
Nice jobs, Lucille.
Well done, Lucille. Yeah.
Now Roddy.
Old Roddy.
Old Roddy. Oh, there we go.
Rodney.
Clank, clank, clank. So, I think that's a lot of failures.
Rodney
Okay.
and Delbin.
So, I'll go back to the map. So, you're probably about 12 miles into the journey. It's been a very clear day so far. You've seen fauna running around, but as you've rode past, they've dashed into the sort of underbrush. The land at the moment looks very parched, and as you look at the ruins of a Mazander, it's still crackling, but the energy kind of hasn't increased in comparison to when you looked at it sort of a previous few, like last week. It's still
Okay.
ominous, and obviously it's worrying, but you sort of progress about 15 miles without really being anything disrupting you too much. But as you get here, you can see something in the very, very distance, like right on, like up in the air, and it seems to be circling you.
Oh shit.
Mm.
So if you'd like to make perception checks or
Yeah.
say what you might say to each other.
Perception. Oh,
I got
yeah.
11.
Jesus. 4.
So Ember, this thing that you can see circling to you has like large black wings. You can see the
Ooh.
sort of undercarriage of it. It's as you're watching it going round, it seems to be swirling down upon you. Like it definitely knows that you're there.
Oh, something's coming down on us. It's really big.
Yeah, Diligence would look up. Does she see it now?
So what did Diligence get?
She rolled real low. Maybe the sun's in her eyes or something.
So yeah, as it's in your eyes, you look round, Diligence, and you look at Rodri with a little wormling on her
Mhm.
back, and then you look up at the dragon
Oh.
that's coming straight
Oh,
towards
shit.
you.
Ooh.
Fuck!
And I'll move you over to this map. Can you put your tokens here?
Uh-oh, I'm fucking scared now.
Thing.
And your horses, please.
Whereabouts? Sorry?
Over here.
And, oh wait, no. I want to drag the horse out first. Horse first, then Pierre. So I'm on top the horse. Update. Here's HP.
Over to the Jane.
What the bloody hell is that?
Can Diligence do a nature check?
Yeah, you can. Anyone can do a nature check.
Diligence is proficient. 17.
Just do. Give her
Right.
advantage.
Diligence. Wait, do the horse first. Then diligent. Horse. Jones.
So, Diligence and Ember, you're pretty sure that the thing's swirling down. and it's getting bigger and bigger as it comes towards you. It doesn't look like it's taken up a stance to attack yet.
Mm.
And it seems to be heading towards over here.
Let me see what colour dragon it is.
It is black.
Proper black one. Okay.
What are you doing?
How, with its rate of descent,
Yeah.
does it look like it's going to get to the ground within the next 10 seconds, 30 seconds?
Half a minute, probably.
I think Diligence would be, honestly, quite a bit awestruck.
Yeah.
She'd be like, that's an adult dragon.
Rodri glares at it.
What should we do? Should we run? She
Ah.
rears up charcoal.
Ember, with your perception check, like as this thing's swooping down, you think you catch a glint of armor off the side.
No. Do dragons normally wear armor?
No. I think Tom might have figured something out. Should I do an intelligence check for Diligence? Or...
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey.
Depends how simple it is.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm rolling bad.
What were you thinking, Tom?
I was thinking CORMYR has dragon knights and what have you. Maybe there's some kind of dragon rider or something like that.
Okay, yeah, with that, you think that there is someone riding on the dragon.
Okay. Yeah, to be honest, I think Diligence is a bit too awestruck to like act quickly anyway. So as Ember says, should we run? She'd just be like, I'm not sure. With armor, perhaps it is a knight.
Maybe.
Either way, I don't think we should probably stick together. Do you know what dragons are like? And he's gonna sort of run,
Yeah,
and
true.
start riding off ahead in this direction.
Yeah, I think Ember would go. How fast can horses go? Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to stay as far apart
So-
as possible.
In the next half a minute, you see the dragon. It slams down into the ground, and right at you, Diligent, it lets out this like guttural roar at you.
Yeah, Diligence is like eyes wide, mouth jaw dropping kind of thing. Part of her is still her childish self. Her child self just thinking like, oh my god, a fucking dragon! But there's also a very real feeling of being prey in front of a real predator.
Yeah. And as this dragon lands, you can see this sort of slender, armored figure with jet black hair, pallid white skin, gracefully dismount onto the floor.
Is it a fully grown one?
It's young,
Oh, a young one. Okay.
you'd be able to tell from its size.
Yeah.
She steps down off the dragon,
Holy
and
shit.
she looks directly at Rodri,
Yeah.
like straight away, and then she sort of like looks around the whole group, making proper like eye contact with Joan and Ember and Rodri. The other a lot of you, she seems to ignore more, and she's like, "You are the ones who disrupted my plans in the Stonelands."
What plans?
She like walks over. The necromancer in the barrows. The were-sheep in Griffin Hill. And she points at Rodri, not even looking at her. My sister. And then Rodri, you can tell by the look on her face, she looks shocked.
Hmm.
She slowly starts walking towards Rodri. Rodri's looking like very confused. Like, your father was a dishonorable man, Many in your kingdom say he is honorable. He never betrayed his wife, but I know what he did. I know, and I am the progeny of that disgrace. She
Holy
you see
shoot.
the little wormling on Rodri's back peek out. She's like, yes, I sensed when you died. We are joint, and all these pretenders around you, they will bring nothing but your fall. I will give you 1 week to report to the ruins of Manzander. Otherwise, all your friends will feel the wrath of Imatuzim. The pact will not be broken. I will not see you stand in my way. And if any of you think of reporting, tell them the name Alistair Fitzabaskir. And she remounts her dragon, and she's like, remember, 1 week, or your pathetic little fort burns to the ground. As for the rest of your kingdom. Rodri's just looking awestruck at this.
Yeah, Diligence is dumbstruck.
Yeah.
She's like, who are you? I've never seen you before. She's like, in time you will come to know me. We are joint. We are joint by the clutch of Falgor. I see the one on your back. His larger brother is here under me. And you think Barovius will be able to tame the dragon he has? And you just see Rodri's like, Barovius is a weakling. He could never. And she's like, exactly. That's why you should report to Asmander in a week. Otherwise your father will die and your kingdom shall burn. The father will be reincarnated from the loins of the sun. And she mounts Falgor, looks around at every single one of you, says, if you think of stopping me, you will all die. I promise you that. Return to your homes and prepare for the father's return. And she remounts the dragon. Is anyone doing anything?
No.
No.
Nothing beyond Diligence. I mean, she is dumbstruck, but there's some smart part of her head that's just trying to take in as many details as possible, trying to remember the face, the dragon, so on.
You can you see this woman she looks young, younger than Rodri, to be honest. She's wearing black metal plate. You can see a huge glaive on her back. Something about her presence, it makes you creep as you look at her. It's not an effect, but you just it doesn't feel natural.
I think Blaze would give her a little growl as she gets back on the dragon.
I imagine she wouldn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And she would sort of look at Rodri. And she's like, you know where your blood lies. Make sure you return. And slowly starts taking off into the air. The dragon runs, jumps, and eventually it is gone from sight.
Ember would ride Charcoal back over to the group. She'll say, oh, well, that was scary, but Fort Champion is pretty burnable.
I don't know who that was. I hope you all believe me.
I mean, I believe you, but have you ever had a bout of memory loss, I guess?
My only brother is Barovis. She said she was a sister, or But my father's an honourable man. He would never have cheated on my mother.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like,
But
what's the word when you like guffaw or whatever? Like, not. Do you know what I mean? When you're like, pfft, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
yeah, Roger just shoot you a look, Pierre.
Diligence is
Hmm.
frantically trying to recreate the woman in like small statue form in her hands, just like doing one, shaking her head, being like, nope, not quite, destroying it, redoing it again in her hand.
Hmm.
What?
Well, are you gonna go in 1 week, Rodri?
I can't just trust someone who flew down from the sky and said they were my sister and follow them. Like,
No.
she said the name Iachu Vim. I don't even know what that means.
Maybe we can find more about it though.
How would
There
one
must be
spell
written
that
somewhere.
name?
Can you, I mean, if you want to try and recognize the name Iachu Vim, you can roll a religion check.
Shoot. Trying to take notes again. Religion. +3. Roll. Fuck!
Yeah,
Rolling's gone in the
diligence,
toilet.
isn't it?
5.
It is spelled IYACHTUXVIM.
Cool name. I almost had it. Okay, thank you. I won't look it up. If that would even do me any good anyway.
Well, no.
No, I won't.
To be frank with you,
Yeah,
Miss
diligence is just hearing a name. Sorry, yeah.
To be frank with you, Miss LeBlanc, I witnessed you rise from the dead when my friend was cut down before my own eyes, and I seen this dark creature and strange power come from you, let alone your eyes. This woman clearly... I mean, I'm a bullshitter. I know when someone's talking bullshit. This woman was certainly not.
Was it obvious by the giant black dragon she rode down?
Precisely. So, if you care at all for the people in the camp, I'd say you should leave us immediately. Go to these ruins Amazondar. I don't want some family drama getting everyone in Fort Champion killed. I've had enough death in this last month, thank you very much.
Based on what she said, Pierre, do you not think we'd all be killed anyway if I didn't go?
Regardless, I'd rather take my chances. You can go there, sort out whatever family dramas you've got going on. Meanwhile, Fort Champion doesn't get burned to the fucking ground.
You
Hmm.
are not a separate entity, madame. You have a duty. Should report what's been seen and heard here.
I will.
And she said, well, what about what she said, Liana? She said if we were to tell, then we'd suffer the consequences. Personally, I'm not quite in the... I don't think I'm quite up for fighting a dragon. That bloody orc was more than enough.
Well, Pierre, maybe you'd end up fighting 2 dragons if I went. It didn't seem like I had much of a choice if I went. She didn't seem the nicest of people.
Precisely. I...
Hmm. She didn't say anything about us all not going.
I see no sense in putting any more people in danger than you need to.
Hmm.
She mentioned when you went to Griffin Hill, Joan and Ember.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how those things connect to her. There was nothing dragon related that I remember.
Can I roll a religion check for the name of that dragon? Not
Of
name
course.
of whatever that thing was.
Yes.
16.
You would know, Pierre, that let me just let blah blah blah.
Would you mind
Sorry.
typing his name in chat, Tom? Because I'm not going to remember.
Right,
that
you'll
at all.
see it in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
So, Vim, also known as Godson, was the half-demonic son of Bane, and for a time the lawful evil lesser deity of fear, hatred, and tyranny. He was described as a bone-thin man with scaly brown skin, unclothed, and wearing a scimitar. And you might recognise the symbol.
Yeah.
Do.
So, what
Well,
exactly did
shit.
she say about him?
That she was kind of she was sent by him, and that she'll ensure that the father rises.
Yeah. And she mentioned the clutch of Falgor as well, which is an awesome name.
And he, in that case, then Pierre would look up and say,
Diligence and Pierre,
mm-hmm.
you can roll history checks to see who Falgor was.
Yep. Give me a character sheet. History.
I think you're probably a bit like, oh, Pierre, like it's not catching on right now. Yeah. Actually, I think you probably both would know because it's so integral to the history of CORMYR. Falgor was a dragon who the Purple Dragon Knights are famed for slaying. The Green Knights also tried to slay him and killed a lot of his brethren, but their sort of avatar died trying to slay Falgor, and CORMYR really like became a kingdom when Falgor was slain. Like it really went on from there.
In that case, then
And now fucking Rodri's running around with a Falgor Jr. Fuck!
yeah, in that case, then Pierre's just gonna say, whatever that thing you've got it with you is she said the clutch of Falgor. Assume you know what Falgor is.
Yeah, of course I know what Falgor is, but do you want two of them together? And Barovas has one too.
This is far beyond my my pay grade, to be honest. And to be quite frank, I have no desire to see awful black dragons rise and commit evil deeds upon this land. But for Champion, as people I care about, and I see Toby would want me to protect those people.
But Pierre, we're up here to attack the ruins of Amanzda. Me going there isn't going to help anything.
Buy us time.
Will it?
What exactly are they going to do with you there? They're going to, well, if you act, they seemed welcome you into their merry little band.
I don't know, Pierre. She just flew down from the sky. I don't know who. And she had a black dragon with her.
We have our week. We don't need to make this decision now. I still think I know what she said, Pierre, but we can't let her cut us off from the army. They are our greatest asset, or the war wizards. I could try and speak to
Yes,
Master Appendorf.
That's a good idea. He also mentioned that Iaktu Zvim name. Wasn't he the son of Bane or something?
That trigger Diligence's memory?
Yeah, I think think it would.
Ah, you're right. That's not good news.
Beyond not good news. But right now I care about keeping our people safe, so... I don't know. I'd say we need to get this message back to Fort Champion at the very least. If we go into that wizard's tower and die, what good does it do the people back at Fort Champion?
But how are we going to get a message to them from here without just going all the way back?
Well, if we need to go back, we need to go back.
I could send Chatterpie.
That would
With
be something.
a note?
Hmm?
Just with a note?
Yes, I could tie it to his leg. I've done it before.
Hmm.
Madame LeBlanc,
Yes, diligence.
what is your instinct with this?
I. The army was called to the Stonelands to fight goblinoids and evils. I did not know there would be a dragon. I've always had this, and you see the little black dragon in her backpack. And my brother has, my father believed they were stones. They never really believed us. Well, I always knew there was something inside. Berevis, he's a fool. He has left it alone. And there was always a third, which my father said he never knew the location of. But she kind of looks up at the sky. I guess we know where that went. Maybe she was corrupted, maybe she died earlier and bonded with the dragon earlier. Maybe she was corrupted by these lands. I do not know. I do not know who she is.
Where would your brothers one be?
In Suzail. He doesn't leave the capital.
Have you told him what happened with yours?
No, I haven't I haven't talked to my brother in a long time.
I see.
Yes, I guess it's obvious now that I am Raedra Obaskir. I don't think that can hide it, and she points up into the sky. I just wanted to be away from Suzail, and I wanted to help CORMYR.
Well,
My
a
own
fat
way.
lot of good you did.
Really?
Hmm.
You do know what I
Gosh.
could have done to you, Mr. Rallyhorn, if I desired, but I do not. You are loyal to this land, and you help the people.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There is some
Diligence
threats against us anyway.
would bow on her horse a little bit. This is a member of the royal family. And she's a goody citizen.
She
And the
if she
women.
looked at you, she'd be like, "You do not need to bow. We have been around each other long enough. I do not want to be known as a princess."
All right. All right.
Pierre looks irritable, irritated.
We could think about it on the way, and you could send Chatterpie to send a message.
All right. Bear with me. She hops down, uses the flat side of the stone to start writing. Sets up a little ink pen and quill. Ink pen and ink well.
Mm-hmm.
Chatterpie sits on the top, happily squawking.
Maybe
She-
say on it that it's a secret message. No, not everyone needs to know.
This message is not to be
Okay.
read out loud for the eyes of Rufret,
Mm-hmm.
Vincent.
Mm-hmm. They're the main two, sort of.
Yeah. Rufret Chevrolet, Vincent Messier. We are. This cannot be too long. On way to Mage's Tower, encountered. She kind of looks up at Raedra.
Yeah, Rachel like nods back.
Encountered Dragon Rider, claiming to be sister to Raedra Obaskir. Has threatened to assault, destroy Champion if Raedra does not travel to Amazanda within the week. We will continue with our mission. Please advise if otherwise.
Mhm.
Diligence. Well, no, she'd sign it properly. Liana Toussaint. And poor little Chatterpie is going to have 2 little shoes because she wants to put a blank piece on the other side in case they want to send a message back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
Does any of us have any sending magic?
No.
Sorry, Pierre, I do not.
I assume if Joan was here, she would say that she did, right? Because she would have sending now, I think.
Depends if she prepared it, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess she'd say she could prepare it for the following day.
Yeah, I think Pierre would say. Well, if Mr. Fast can prepare that for the morning, then perhaps we could send a message then, and if Chatterpie doesn't make it, if this Dragon Rider woman, whatever, intercepts the message or something, then at least we know we're guaranteed the people at the camp have received it.
Yeah.
Wise. Redundancy.
Mhm.
Alright, Chatterpie. Be fast. Be safe. Find Messier or Rouvret. He squawks and takes off.
Roger's like,
Starts heading back.
maybe it wasn't a threat just against Fort Champion. Maybe it was against the whole of the Stonelands.
Regardless, we need to make sure the people of Fort Champion are safe, first and foremost.
Of course.
Yeah, I can at least warn them. Hopefully Chatterpie gets there.
He's pretty good at keeping out of trouble when I'm not throwing him directly into the mouth of danger anyway.
Yeah, it's like the opposite to you, Blaze.
Lucille just looks at you, Diligence, and she's like, this was not expected.
Yeah.
Well, unless you've got any more brothers and sisters you don't want to tell us about, Miss Obaskir, then we
I
should...
don't know what being a smartass is going to do for us, Pierre. Let's just get on with it.
Well, I was about to suggest the same thing. Let's get back to our mission at hand, shall we?
Yeah? So, with that, we'll call it there, because Anya's asleep.
Holy crap!
Jeebus.
Those big birds.
Fucking Lord just came out of the sky! Took a dump on us! Oh my god!
Yeah. Do you recognise this, Ember? Do you recognise that?
Yeah.
Came up in the first session.
Yep.
I can't remember that far away.
I know.
Down the well. Down the
I
well.
do, I remember.
Goblin necromancer,
The
the
well?
goblin
Yeah.
shaman, whatever they were, yeah. Because we were like, because Joan recognized it as being similar to Bane, I think.
Yeah.
And then, but they had the eyes on it, so we were like, we don't know what that is exactly.
And where do you think the where sheep came from?
Mm,
Shit.
They said he said a pact.
Yeah.
mm.
Shit's bad, man.
That's bad.
Fucking. Oh, I'm not gonna say fucking Anya, because yeah, she did sound really ill. God bless her. I'll have to fill her in because this is big deal, especially with Joan going all faithful now. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like you have
Whoa.
reconnected with a Monitor, and now it's like evidence of Bane and the son of Bane or whatever. It's like it's time to call the crusade. Deus vote, Deus vote, Deus vote.
I did say resurrect the father, and Amornator was also a dead god.
Yeah.
So who knows? Could be a few things here.
Fuck.
Well, that's bad.
I thought you needed to get the big bad in somewhere, and I was like, this is perfect time.
Yep. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard tale. Boom!
Yeah.
Doom comes for you. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Remember that wrestling tournament we used to see?
Remember those people that Slugger was raiding? That
Yep. 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 I remember that. I remember being like, ooh, some shit's going on. Some shit is indeed going on. I mean, just the fucking. Look, see that place over there with the giant storm clouds above it? Don't worry about it. Be fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, Pierre's pretty shitting himself now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Diligence feels out of her depth, which she doesn't enjoy feeling.
Yep. Hence Pierre being an arse.
Yep. Diligence is gonna be master up and off. What do
man.
we do?
I'm so like,
Mum, there's a
Wonder-
fucking dragon. Oh, I can't do that voice.
I wonder what you're gonna do with Rodri now, because like sending her to that place does not seem like a good idea.
Oh no.
No.
But Pierre's just like, she said she wouldn't attack Fort Champion. We send her. Fucking go.
Well, she didn't say she wouldn't. She just said
If you
Yeah, if you
don't,
don't,
will.
if you
Yeah.
don't. But
Yeah, I know. But Pierre's like panicking
Oh,
at the
God.
moment.
Yeah.
And he's got no like real affinity for Rodri, so he's just like, because she's the way
Evil.
she's been, just not just the way she's been acting, but also because the fucking weird evil magic that's surrounding her as well. Where he's just
Yeah.
like, no, fuck that shit. Well,
Whelpy whelp.
well,
Well,
Joan
did
will
some
send a
time to
message
November.
to
Okay.
Dondarian Alamba. he'll save her. He'll know what to do.
right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Kieran.
Thank you, Kieran. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Loving my CORMYR.
Fucking
I'm loving it like this.
big.
Alright, laters
See you
taters.
later.
Laters, laters.
See you later, boy.
Bye bye.